Got it.
Yeah, you just bring us in.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to our Sixers versus Grizzlies watch party. It is Dives, Mr. Crockpot on Twitter. Before we get started, make sure you go check us out on Twitter at The Painted Lines. Check out all of our written content at thepaintedlines.com. If you are new to this YouTube channel, please smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and comment with us. We're going to be reacting to the Grizzlies game all night long, which will lead us to our post-game show when the clock hits 0. Joining us today, of course, is our co-host. He is Justin. Follow him on Twitter at J_Persichetti. Justin, what's good, man?
You know, listen, I'm excited today. I just found out, I think it was about 10 minutes ago, that Ja Morant is playing tonight, and I am excited to see the matchup between Ja Morant and Tyrese Maxey. That's something I've been looking forward to all season, and I think it's going to be a fun game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then also, of course, our Sixers beat writer, he is Jason Blevins. Follow him on Twitter at JBlevinsNBA. Jason, what's good?
Everything's good. What's not to like?
Sixers basketball on Saturday night, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I think it's pretty awesome that we're hyped up for
Sixers basketball
for the matchup between Maxey and Morant, and one of those guys was picked number 2. I think he should have probably gone number 1, but the other guy was picked 21, so that says a lot about how good the rookie is.
So I have a quick question. Is it Morant or Morant?
I don't know.
I say
I'm pretty sure it's Morant.
I say Morant.
Most people say Morant, but
Jay, you don't got to be different now. Come on.
I'm not being intentionally problematic.
All right. Well, let's get this watch party rolling.
It's just how I would pronounce it if it was a person that I was reading for the first time. Just like all of our awesome viewers. You know, it's got a bit of a French sort of sound to it. So
okay, Jason. Okay.
All right, Marquis says, let's go Sixers. Let's go 1-0. 1-0. Get the game. W. One game at a time, says Marquis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He is expecting a big triple-double again by Ben Simmons. Mark says Superman Dwight Howard and Tony Bradley step up tonight. Big Shane Gillis, the great Big Shane Gillis, says it's lit. Why is Embiid out? Is it precautionary? What's the deal?
Yeah, so Doc talked about it. They're not concerned, but he was, if you watched the other night, he was walking off gingerly a little bit. I think they're just finding ways to get him a little bit of rest. When you do have swelling, an airline flight, that change in altitude can exacerbate that. So I don't know. They're just keeping him home.
Mr. Yamasaurus says, always a pleasure. He doesn't care. Potato. Who cares how you say it? Edward says, let's go. Thunder Dude is back. Hype time. Ja Morant. That is really the storyline so far during this pregame. You look at his stats, other than three-point shooting, up across the board. This guy is a superstar. 26.3 points a game in 3 games played so far this year. This is his first game back. Only 2.3 turnovers per game. But, man, Jason, how did the Sixers slow down Ja Morant tonight?
Well, I think it's awesome because he and Maxey are basically the same size player. So where in a normal year, the Sixers haven't had a small, quick guard to run with him. I think you get to see what Maxey can do really on ball. And I love Ja Morant. So like he's one of my favorite players to watch, but he's very small. Like he's NBA small.
You don't.
I think
He
it's
don't get up
very
to be
generous.
small enough.
I think it's very generous when they list him at 6'2".
You look at Tyrese Maxey's stats in January. In 8 games, he's playing 26 minutes a game, over 15 points a game, 37% from 3, 40% from the catch and shoot from 3, 117 offensive rating. He has a crazy 23.4 usage rate, but only 1 turnover per game. And I think something along the lines of a 3.67 assist to turnover ratio, which leads the team. That's got to be the biggest takeaway from Tyrese Maxey, his ability to limit the turnovers. Going to you, Justin, how do we limit Ja Morant tonight?
I mean, I think one of the biggest things is let him shoot. Honestly, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, yes, he's not a terrible shooter, but letting him get inside on you is a bigger issue. I think having Embiid creates a little bit of a problem. We got to make sure Dwight is not being too aggressive in the paint because he will catch fouls against a guy like Ja. But I think overall, I'm excited to stick Tyrese on him or a guy like Ben to see how they do against Ja. Because in history of the Sixers, we have not been amazing at guarding guys around Ja's size that are crafty around the rim and good mid-range scorers. We just have not done well with that. So I'm excited to see how defensively we play him, especially with Joel being out of the lineup.
Yeah, speaking of shooting, you look at the Sixers in January. They're only 5-3, but there's a lot of positives to why you like what you see from the Sixers. You look at catch and shoot from 3. Tobias Harris, 44+%. Joel Embiid, 42+%. Shake Milton and Tyrese Maxey are both 40%. Danny Green, nearly 39%. And then Isaiah Joe is over 37%. Isaiah Joe is playing 23.7 minutes per game in January, 9.3 points, 38.5% from 3. Isaiah Joe has been a really, truly pleasant surprise. But you talk about really Shake Milton. I think Shake Milton has really owned this month, over 20 points a game. It seems like he's comfortable coming off the bench, and that just speaks to how good the Sixers' second unit can become when Steph Curry comes back. Tyrese Maxey goes back to the bench, and then you have that Shake, Tyrese, Dwight Howard pick and roll that would, really solidify that second unit. Anything else you're expecting to see from tonight, Jason?
I think Justin nailed it. I think the biggest concern is Dwight and foul trouble. I mean, if you let Ja get downhill, that puts Dwight in foul trouble, and that sort of creates a lot of downstream effects. So that's the key for tonight. Keep Dwight on the floor. Yep.
Ranchel, I think I'm going to say it. Manuel Torres says, "Hola, what's going on?" Mr. Yamasaurus says, "I was super high on Jaren Jackson Jr."
Hey, I have a theory on Mr. Yam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is Vin Fosh.
Oh my God, that would be fantastic.
I think Yam is Vin Fosh. So he can tell us that's not true, but that's my theory.
Kevin says, got the Sixers versus Nets in the Eastern Conference Final this year, and then can see the Sixers winning that series because the Sixers have a better bench than the Nets. Justin, anything you're expecting from tonight's game?
I mean, honestly, not necessarily. I expect us to be good offensively tonight. I mean, the Grizzlies, they play really good team defense and they play hard, but I think it should be a pretty easy win. That's just my opinion. I expect Tyrese Maxey to have a good matchup tonight against Ja, and I kind of expect Ben Simmons to take a leap tonight. I know something that we've questioned before when Ben was in there without Joel is he going to take over the game like he did in past years? And I think that's going to happen tonight. I have a little bit more confidence in him.
Awesome, guys. Let's look at – I'm going to go to I put in a poll on Twitter who is going to be player of the game. Let us know in the comment section who you think the player of the game will be for the Philadelphia 76ers. 111 votes. Ben Simmons is leading with 40%. Then Tobias Harris, 22%. in second place there. Jason, who's your player of the game tonight?
Jonas Valanciunas.
What about you, Justin?
Player of the game, I'm going to go Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is going to step up tonight.
All right. I'm going Shake. I'm going to roll the hot hand. This is a Shake Milton, 36% from three, 40% from three in the catch and shoot. His defensive rating is better than Ben and Joel in the month of January. 4.42 points per touch, which is second best on the team. So I'm going Shake. I think Shake is going to have a terrific night. Eclipse that 20-point mark again. Will says Vegas giving the Sixers no respect with JoJo out. Jason, you nailed it. What was the game? I think it was Cleveland. Cleveland got Dwight Howard out of the game with 3 quick personal fouls, and you saw the Sixers just completely in flux. They were really struggling in that game.
Yep, and you had Sexton in that game, who was just a problem for them, and I don't think Colin Sexton is nearly as good as Ja. So yeah. I think that I don't expect an easy win tonight, quite frankly. I just don't. This one has like road loss written all over it.
Will is picking Ben Simmons. Who am I now? You don't ask questions you don't want to answer to, Mr. Yamasaurus.
My sources say.
Oh, my sources say, he says.
My sources say.
Yeah, I'm going to try something real quick. I don't know how that looks.
Yeah, that looks all right.
Nah.
What's behind it? What's behind us?
Yeah, I can't
It's
tell.
how do I even look? No, I don't know. It's a 76ers like basketball.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, I see it. Will says Toby is his player of the game. Marquise says Shake Milton, player of the game. We've got Ben Simmons, player of the game. Wow, I like this. Going out on a limb here. Matisse as player of the game. He's been playing. His defense has been pretty good over the last several years.
If Matisse steps up and can be a piece this year, that's going to be huge for this team.
I think. Speaking of Matisse, where do you see Isaiah Joe fitting with this team moving forward, and what does that mean for Furkan Korkmaz in the rotation?
Well, if Joe can hit from 28 feet, it just changes a lot of things, right? Changes a lot of things. He's not in the game plan yet for teams. So I think you got to see these guys once a team schemes to stop them, then what happens? And if they still pass the test, then you have to say you have a real piece. And we'll see that tonight with Maxey, because Taylor Jenkins in his first question brought up, in the answer to the first question, he brought up Ben Simmons, Tobias, Shake Milton, and Tyrese Maxey. So those are the guys they're going to try to stop. So Joe is not on anybody's radar yet, just like Matisse isn't, right? Yep. And when Matisse got on people's radar about this time last year, his production dropped off quite a bit. So we'll see with Joe. I think it's just really early to make any pronouncements.
What about you, Justin? Does it have any meaning of what we've seen from Isaiah Joe and getting regular rotation minutes over a guy like Furkan Korkmaz?
So the only way I see that happening is if Isaiah can show himself on the defensive end, because I think all of us know here that if Isaiah Joe gets consistent minutes, that he can be a good shooter for this team. He showed that he's capable of that in college, and I think we can already see that that's capable of translating. I think it really comes down to his defensive role playing. It's as simple as that. And I know we've made comments on it before, but he definitely doesn't have that NBA body yet. He's very slight. So it depends. Do they have confidence in him on that end of the floor? Honestly, that's what it comes down to. Is he going to play smart on that end? And I think he even said in his conference after the game the other day that like he knows he doesn't have the biggest body, and he knows he has a chance to get bullied. So he's got to be that one that initiates contact on defense instead of being the person that people initiate contact onto him. And I think that comes with IQ on defense. And if he has that, and if he keeps pushing himself in that direction, I think there's a very good chance he can start getting the rotation over Furkan this year.
It was a great answer that he gave. It shows self-awareness, and it was an awesome answer.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something we've talked about is that, and I know Jason said it the other day during the game, that you can tell he's a very heady player. Like he's very smart on the court, making good decisions, at least with team defense and even team offense at times. So it's if he can consistently do that, I think easily he has a good shot at the rotation this year.
Yeah.
John Hunter says Joe equals sniper. Did I miss something from the previous stream? A shot chart analysis from Jason?
You missed about 4 or 5 shot charts analyses during the game and the post game, and people even commented about it after the post game.
Thunder Dude says, "Gotta love the shot charts."
Got to.
Maxey needs a little more time. Thunder Dude says he does need time, but him putting up 30 points early shows he may be growing up faster than we all thought, and that's the biggest takeaway is his maturity and his ability to limit turnovers, get everyone involved, thrive as a scorer in the pick and roll, as we've seen. And really, the three-point shot is falling. I'm just so impressed at his ability to just score. Like nothing phases this guy. He's fearless attacking the paint. Just so impressive. Jason, what do you expect from Tyrese Maxey moving forward? Is he going to continue? Now, Seth Curry's going to come back. He's playing over 26 minutes a game right now in January. Where do you see his role moving forward when Seth comes back? And where do you see his minutes?
So I asked Doc tonight before the game. He thought it was a dumb question. He didn't want to answer it. But there's a reason I asked it. So I asked him about teams giving up the floater and the mid-range for Maxey. And when they start to not be willing to give that up and come out and challenge, will that open up the lob to a Dwight or someone else? And his answer was no, right? No. But I think what he said is if they come out and challenge the floater, it's going to open up the layup. That tells me that in his mind, he's going to keep it really simple for the rookie. Tyrese Maxey is out there to score the basketball. He's not out there to run a complicated offense. He is there to add points when the other guys are on the bench. So when those guys come back, when he gets in the game, he's looking to attack, score in any way possible. So that's going to be his role, right? Him and Shake are there to run the score up and just try to outscore the other team while the starters are resting. So while Doc didn't love the question, I think he actually gave us a pretty good answer.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds very similar to what the team he had the Clippers going, where he had Lou Will and Montrez being the centerpieces of the bench group coming out while the starters are resting. So do you see that to be a very similar thing for the Sixers?
Yeah, and Crawford, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, when Crawford was with them, yeah.
Those guards off the bench, I think he looks for them to be scorers. So nothing a guard wants to hear more than go score the ball. Like it's like
music in their ears. Yeah, and Shake even commented on that as well. Coming into the season, and even I think in one of his last pressers where he was saying that that's one big thing he gets over Brett Brown is that he gets a lot more freedom in that guard position. So I think that's what excites guys like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right, we've got Mike Scott's not playing tonight. Is that true?
That is true.
Mike didn't travel with the team on the road trip, so he will not be playing next game either.
Marquise says, I wouldn't mind trading for Ken Korkmaz.
He's not worth enough on his contract. Who are you getting for him?
I know. The contract and the shooting is too good. Tori Thompson says, we've had a great season so far. Why have people been so eager to make a drastic change? I'm happy with our roster. Ben needs to lock in. We've been saying this so many times, Justin.
That's Philly for you.
we've been saying.
I do think, though, you see how tenuous this team is. You take a couple of pieces out, and it just doesn't work as well. So
Yeah.
they're not as fault tolerant, I think, as you'd want them to be. So,
but what do you think? What do you think can actually solve that issue, though? Do you think that is needing to get a more star like third guy in here, or do you think that's something that can change over time as this team gels?
You don't sell your future out to go get a guy that might be that.
Yeah,
but you should absolutely be looking for it. So it's like if you have all of your pieces together in the playoffs, then theoretically this is a really tough team to stop. If you take just one or two of those pieces away, then Ben Simmons becomes a solvable player where you just pack the paint and you live with Furkan Korkmaz and Shake Milton and Isaiah Joe taking threes and Danny Green taking threes. You live with it and hope you can get out of a 7-game series. Seth's got to get back on the floor. You got to have 30 or 40 games with Seth Curry in the lineup to really know what your true weaknesses are. And I just don't think you have enough yet to know.
It's like my first thought about how important Seth Curry is to the Philadelphia 76ers is like, Jason, is Seth Curry like the engine of the Sixers? Is that what makes everything work?
No, I think he's the oppositional gravitational force that spreads everything out. Embiid down low, Curry out from 24 to 28 feet, forces the defense to spread out, which opens up all of the lanes for Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, and just makes everything else work. So it's not so much the engine; it's just like the backbreaking thing that makes another team pick their poison, and it all works together. When you take it out, you're relying on Danny Green to take 23 pointers in a game. Mm-hmm. And that's not how that's what the other team wants you to do. That's not what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the fact that he's so important to this philosophically should be a concern. And you probably want to add another piece that is just as good. Right.
All right, Marquis says he expects Shake Milton to go off with his underrated defense. How good, like that's got to be another one of the major surprises of this season is Shake Milton has played very good defense so far this season. Hopefully that continues. Mark asks, do we see Simmons play the 5 tonight? Any thoughts on that?
If you do, things are real bad if you do. Like, shit has gone sideways.
Testing out backgrounds.
I like it. Keith says time for Ben Simmons to show up and grow some fuzz in his peaches.
Oh my goodness.
Is that a Rolling Stone song? Oh wait, I'm sorry. Keith Richmond, not Keith Richards.
Will says, I was happy to see the report that Doc wanted to keep Ben and Joe rather than trade them.
What else is he supposed to say?
Ben putting up 25 tonight. Well, what's his season high this year? Is it like 17?
It's not very high at all.
That's a bold statement. I don't have an issue with Ben, putting up more than 20 more points. But when is Seth coming back? Any update on this, Jason?
No update. So I mean, it's probably 2 weeks. You're probably looking at 2 weeks from the time he was diagnosed. And that puts you middle of next week, right? So hopefully for the Boston game, maybe.
All right, cool. Awesome. Thunder Dude says, I would love to have Ben put up a number like that, but I'll be satisfied for 18 and great defense. Hells yeah. He thinks around January 20th, right on cue for that, Jason, for Seth Curry's return. And John Hunter says, 10 pounds of muscle I've served. Shake well. Amen. Amen. He looks so much better with the basketball this year.
And it's below the waist, and that's where he really needed to add strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's everyone should be really excited about him. And I'm surprised, quite frankly, that Houston didn't ask for Shake. They asked for Maxey. That just shows you recency bias and how important and how strong recency bias is.
I think also with that, it's like them trying to get a guy who maybe can grow even more from where he's at. Because I think Shake is probably going to be what he is and just slowly become more efficient and maybe grow some parts of his game. But they want a guy who's 20 years old, who just turned 20 years old, that blue blood talent coming out of Kentucky. It's a name also. It's a name that their fans may accept more than a second round pick who's 23, 24 years old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think it has more to do with that too, for a fan base thing, where they can convince their fans and be like, listen, he's a first round pick and he's already looking this good, and we're getting him back for a guy like James Harden.
And that's why I'm selling the Rockets stock for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
That's how you're thinking. If you're thinking you're going to sell more jerseys, more Tyrese Maxey jerseys than Shake Milton jerseys, then you're going to struggle over the next 10 years.
All right, let's go on to some more comments. Moving. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot that. Ian says Maxey dropping 21 and 6. What do you have, like 11 points in that first quarter? The previous game, absolutely terrific, man. That was I didn't get to watch the game until the next morning because I was doing a WandaVision pod very early in the morning.
We promoted that thing.
Oh yeah, we do. The first thing that happened when we got on here, there was for one, before we even got on here, the comments were, "Where's Dibes at?" Because we were like 2 minutes late. Like, "Where's Dibes at? Tell Dibes to start the stream." And then we get on here, and one of the first comments is, "Where's Dibes?" I had to say, "Don't worry, he'll be back next game."
we gave the time in Turkey. We said it would be 9:30 a.m. in Turkey, so they should watch it.
Yes.
8:30 a.m. in France, so they should watch it. And we also committed. I don't know if you pulled this off. We committed to doing a dual screen, split screen with WandaVision, and then Jimmy Butler practicing in the gym since it's 3:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Figured,
it's funny because he said that they were doing a live stream, and I had said in the comments, I said, "Yeah, he's Jimmy Butler." No, it was during the Flyers game yesterday. I was like, "Yeah, Dibes is trying to impersonate Jimmy Butler," and I don't think Dibes got it all the way because he just says, "I'm not Jimmy Butler," and moves on.
Yeah, that 3:30.
You're a better teammate than Jimmy.
Appreciate that,
definitely,
guys.
Definitely.
We all know that.
Work just as hard.
We all know that JB and Justin carry this show. Let's be real here. Tori Thompson says moving Danny Green at the deadline for someone more versatile that can help us get over the top is the best case scenario. Are there any ideas of guys you could swap for Danny Green? Any thoughts on that, JB?
Yeah, I mean, so I don't think they want to move him, but his contract makes so many different things possible. So obviously, I shouldn't say obviously. Number one on their list would be Zach LaVine, right? It should be number one on the list. And the way you make Zach LaVine work would be a couple of different combinations, but the lowest paying one would be Danny Green, Mike Scott, Matisse Thybulle, and picks, right? So that would be the package that would get that done. Basically, Danny Green allows you to bring back salary when you combine him with Scott and Thybulle to match anywhere in the $20 to $25 million range. You could also add Terrence Ferguson to get you a little bit above that. So his $15 million once he's eligible to be traded, because he can't be traded for 60 days after December 8th. So that's February 8th, right? February 10th. He becomes eligible to be traded. He makes it easier to make other packages work.
So this is Brian Michael Jacobs, our one of our TPL boys, and this is the trade he put together.
Yeah. So I mean, you just see
Why
that
would Chicago do that trade?
the picks.
That's great.
Remember, players can force their way out of situations, right?
Yeah.
And if he makes it painful enough, they'll have to move him. And Harden did that with Houston, and I would argue Houston certainly didn't get an upgrade. Levine's much younger, but really, Mark Eversley is the GM in Chicago. Did Mark Eversley find Matisse Thybulle, and is he emotionally attached to Matisse Thybulle? If so, this makes more sense.
Yep.
If so, you may not have to throw in Furkan. You may only have to throw in Terrence Ferguson.
Yeah, so Ferguson, but there. One of the problems is right now, your two guards off the bench are so hot. Every team's just going to they're going to dig in mentally and say, no, we want either Milton or Maxey, and they're just not going to listen to a lot of other packages. So that's really why, and I was talking about it the other night, it's super important for the Sixers to figure out as soon as possible what Maxey's upside is. It's just them finding out what his upside is before other teams do is crucial.
Yeah.
Like what his ceiling is, I should say, not the upside. If his ceiling is all-star, different conversation. If his ceiling is nice player off the bench, then you think about it for Zach LaVine.
Yeah, that's a wild thing to think about.
But the other package I would throw out there, the money works, and I've said it before. LaVine and Otto Porter for something around Tobias Harris, and does Mark Eversley, did he fall in love with Tobias Harris when he brought him here in that trade while Eversley was in the front office here? Tobias Thybulle picks for LaVine and Porter, that money works as well. So there's a couple of different ways to make it happen. And Porter, I think, has had a lot of injuries. I don't know if he's currently injured. I can look at the report, but he's the same size as Harris, and he has some of this similar skill sets. Probably a better 3-point shooter, and probably a better defender. So don't sleep on Otto Porter.
Ludwig Van Bennett says, can we discuss the matchup between the Nets and Sixers? Let's come back to that because we got the game starting in a little bit. Let's go into score predictions for tonight. Marquise says Sixers winning 108-101. Thunder Dude says 106-97. Will thinks it's going to be a very close game, 113-111 and 104-94. Sixers get the W. Justin, any thoughts on score prediction for tonight?
I don't know what the Memphis Grizzlies are averaging right now. Do you know?
They scored 118 in their last game versus Minnesota. No, Minnesota doesn't guard anyone. So
was Ja in for that game?
No.
They average 106 points a game. They shoot 33% from three. That's got to be one of the worst in the NBA.
Yeah, and I mean we've been defending really well from three. I don't know. I mean, I want to say they probably are around their average, even with Ja coming back. Maybe a little bit above their average, like 110, and I think we score maybe like 120.
Okay. What about you, Jason?
104-96 Memphis.
Ooh. Jason's betting for the home team.
Feels like a loss to me.
All right. I will say I think the Sixers will definitely get the W tonight. I'm going tough win. Let's say 105-101. Sixers get the W. Ian says, thanks, Dives, for liking my tweet about Maxey, the basketball reference. All right, where is this thing at? Was it Ludwig, right? All right, discussing the matchup between the Nets and the Sixers. Personally, I'm just glad my reaction, because I don't think I've done since the trade happened. I'm just glad that Ben Simmons for James Harden trade rumors are done, and we can finally move on because that has been nauseating as Sixers fans. It's been like the number one topic. Go ahead, Justin.
Starting lineup is Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Dwight Howard. So, I mean, they're sticking with that Tyrese in the starting lineup, which, I mean, me and Jason talked about this before. I'm not necessarily surprised, but it is definitely interesting, like that Shake Milton isn't running that 2-guard spot. Being that, like, I mean, I know on TPO we kind of assumed that they were grooming Shake for that coming in and into the starting lineup. Now, something I wonder, is this because they're trying to keep Shake in running that running the offense in the for the bench group, and they're just more comfortable having him do that right now? Yep. Or is it because they really do like Tyrese in the starting lineup, or is it both?
I think Tyrese's ability to be a fantastic pick and roll scorer with the ball takes a lot of pressure off of Ben Simmons in the offense, in the pick and roll offense. And I think that his shooting has really come around. His ability to defend and fight over screens, defend the pick and roll has been a strong suit. And it's just a better fit for Seth Curry until he returns to the starting lineup. And I think the Sixers just love having that bucket getter, pick and roll guy to fit next to Dwight Howard off the second unit. And I think it's just, I think Shake could start at a whim, a week or two from now. So I don't really want to look into it that much because I do think that Shake could potentially be in that starting lineup a month or two from now still. But I'm okay with it because I still think one of the strengths of this team is having a sound bench. And we talk about how do the Sixers match up with the Nets. That's how they're going to beat the Nets, is if they have, they can keep putting on points on that scoreboard while Joel and Ben are on that bench. Shake Milton's a huge factor in that.
Yeah, and it's all I'm sorry, go ahead, Jay.
Chris, I think you nailed it. Maxey's ability to just be a green light scorer. Again, going back to reading into what Doc said before the game, he sees Maxey as a scorer. And that means Shake is the point guard for the second unit, right? Mm-hmm. You need a guy to execute the offense in the second unit. So you're keeping it simple with the rookie. It's a much easier transition to come into the league and just be a downhill scoring guard than it is to become a point guard and run an offense. Shake's running the second unit offense.
Again, and it speaks volumes. I think the turnover factor is also crucial. It speaks volumes to how mature this guy's game is. 3.67 assists to turnover ratio. Ben has struggled with turnovers this season. So having that guy to counter Ben Simmons' struggle with the turnover bug is also very key. Sorry, Justin.
No, so something I want to say about that, specifically about Ben Simmons with the turnovers, I don't think that has as much to do with regression as other people do. I think it has more to do with offensive, just a completely new offensive scheme that he is running in comparison to the scheme he's been running for the past 4 years. I really think that has more to do with it than anything else. So I think people need to relax a little bit. I mean, understand that we're still only I can't. How many games in are we? I can't think of how many games in are we.
13.
Yeah, so we're only 13 games into the season on a short preseason and a short training camp where a guy has been running an offense for more than long enough that it can be hard to adjust, especially when he's never run pick and rolls before. So or not run pick and rolls in the NBA, I should say.
I think you're right and wrong. I think teams have figured out how they are what they're willing to live with him, and his turnovers are up because the book is out right now, and he's got to adapt. And I think you're right in the fact that Seth Curry not being there as a reliable outlet for him when he dives into the paint, gets walled off, and has to kick. I think you're right there, but it's unforgivable when he drives in, picks up the ball, and turns around. You can't.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, but here's the thing with that for me. For me, when I see that, it looks like he's back to making rookie mistakes, and to me, that goes straight to it's a new offensive scheme, and that he's trying to learn it. If that makes sense, and now that's not an excuse. I don't think that's okay because he should be a better player than that. But that's what I see.
All right, the game has started. Tip off is on. Let's go, Sixers. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you, everybody here, for commenting. Please be sure to like. Let's give 5 seconds, and everyone here, hit that like button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's going to be fun. Let's go, Sixers, baby.
Oh man, Ja's got a new hair. His hair is all done up different.
I like these cool jerseys. This is like Vancouver stuff.
Yeah, I love the Vancouver jerseys. They're nice.
Maxey from the Ewing spot.
Oh my. Okay.
We got to figure out who's ahead of who right now. Justin, what's
Tyrese Maxey, baby? Let's go.
Okay, so now we know where Dodds is. We got 10:44 on the clock.
I have no clock on my screen.
Okay.
Tyrese Maxey with a beautiful pull up. Oh man, he just looks so smooth.
He does. And I think that's something that's so exciting about him is that right now, like some rookies come into the league and they look timid. He doesn't look timid, like at all. And you'd rather have to pull someone back than have to push someone. And I think that's what's the most exciting thing about him.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, I also struggle trying to assess Tyrese Maxey's ceiling. Like he's completely blown away all of my expectations.
Yeah.
I thought coming in, like he would be like we were really high on him in the NBA draft and all of our scouting reports. Like coming in, I thought he would be a potential like ceiling all NBA defender, a guy that could thrive in the pick and roll and really get around like 14 to 16 points a game, but that like a Marcus Smart, that kind of guy. So he's blown the doors out of everything I've expected from him this season. So is he like exceeding expectations and we should kind of like give it time because it's a small sample size, or should we be really like, this guy's legit, man? Like give him the green light and let's run with it.
I mean, for this year, he's absolutely legit. He's instantly valuable in the role that they're asking him to play. It's just, I don't see all NBA level defense potential in a guy with that frame. So I struggle with it, you know? I mean, is he Lou Williams level upside? Is he De'Aaron Fox level upside? Is he, you know, what exactly do we have?
I don't know.
Something I want to say is something that I notice with just his game, and obviously we see a lot of comparisons to his game in the De'Aaron Fox level because of the way he drives to the rim and because of his athletic ability. But I actually think he's a better perimeter scorer than De'Aaron is already. I think he's got a better shot, which makes me more what's the word I'm looking for? Makes me feel like better about it even more because he's already got the capabilities of scoring inside and he's already looking better from outside than De'Aaron does right now. Not even when De'Aaron came in the league. So that to me is why I think his potential raises even more for me. Because it's like mind you, if this guy was on a shitty team in the league and was just given the green light the whole game and given the chance to just go, he could be scoring 25 points per game pretty easily, in my opinion. Like he'd be averaging to me between that 18 and like 20 and like 24 mark, just because he's the number one scoring option. And like it's not, even if you're the number one scoring option, it's not always easy to score that many points in the NBA. So it's like,
I don't know. I don't know because this team has so many weapons. You haven't seen another team scheme to take him away.
Yeah.
And
But and we talked about this though. We talked about people scheming against him. He's a guy that he's been able to make the 3-point shot a little more consistently lately. He also can be consistent at the rim, and he's got that mid-range pull-up. So it's like even the things where you scheme against him, like if you want to take away the 3-point shot, come out on him. If you want to take away if you want to try to force him to shoot or try to force him to the mid-range, like teams may do, it's like he's shown that he's capable of hitting them at least a decent high of a clip at this point. So
here's the point where I'm gonna stop talking about this.
Yeah.
When he gets to the line 11 times in a game, you're gonna hear me just stop questioning his upside. It's that simple. When I see him live at the line for a game, then all bets are off. It's just all bets are off at that point. Like it's not a critique. It's just It's just I think it's a hard, complicated question.
Yeah. No, I mean I don't disagree with you at all on that. And I agree with you. Like the best players are able to. The best players in the league are always able to do that. Get to the line, create contact, and create points out of nothing. If you know what I mean by that. So it's I agree.
I think what you'd worry about on a bad team is, does he become D'Angelo Russell, right?
Yeah.
And that's the fear until you see him really live at the line.
I don't think this guy's like
he's got a different attitude
defensively. Defending the pick and roll at Kentucky, he was terrific. I know it's college.
So Ben, right there. Here's why I think we had the wrong conversation around Ben. Ben just had an easy left-handed layup. And instead of just taking an easy left-handed layup, contorted himself to take a bad, wide open, but bad right-handed layup from the left side.
Mm-hmm.
That is just.
No, I agree. I noticed the same thing.
That's 2 points, guaranteed 2 points. And you took it away from yourself. You got the shot. You took it away from yourself because you couldn't finish with your left hand.
So do you think – see, that's so confusing to me because like the past like his first few years in the league, everyone's saying like how he's like ambidextrous and like how he's like capable of finishing with both hands. But and obviously people are going to be more comfortable finishing with certain hands in certain moments. But in those moments where it just makes sense to do that, like what do you think the issue is with that? Do you think it's no confidence? Or do you think it's just comfortability? Like, what is it?
Man.
And I know that's a hard question to answer because you're
obviously ambidextrous. He is ambidextrous.
Yeah.
But it does create problems. We talked about it last game. It creates problems when you naturally go to your left off the dribble, but you have to finish with your right. It just creates problems. So it's just I don't think it's unfair criticism. It's
I don't know, man.
It's an actual problem. It's not like we're hot taking sports radio takes to tear the guy down or that we're fanboying that he's amazing. Like both things can be true. He can be very useful and still have just like a real flaw that he has to figure out.
Yeah.
I just think he's practicing the wrong things.
Were you the one that said you think he needs to get a floater?
Yeah. I just like his focus should be within the free throw line and taking an extra step, getting a floater, and doing what he can inside that range and trying to also get to the free throw line.
See, here's my issue with him.
He doesn't even use the corner three.
Here's my issue with him with the floater is if we want him trying to create contact and getting in a line, the floater's not the answer. Like the floater to me is an answer for a small guard who is trying to get away from the defender and trying not to create contact.
Yep.
And so like if you say like Shake Milton needs to get a floater and he needs to get a better floater or somebody like that, like I could completely understand that. But like Like he's not Tyrese Maxey. He's a 6'10", 230, like small forward size guy. Like he should be wanting to create contact so he can get more points that way.
Floater is the last thing I want him taking. He doesn't have the touch. I was at the park yesterday, and one of the things I work on, I just have a routine, is the floater. It's the hardest thing. It is so much harder than a layup or a three. It is so much harder than a pull-up jump shot. It's incredibly hard. The whole thing is about your timing, your leap, and then from your wrist out, that touch. It's
something I want to say
really hard. And if a guy doesn't have like tremendous touch, you don't want him taking it.
Something I want to say with that, there's a reason why probably 80% of the league takes 3-pointers and probably 10% of the league actually uses the floater. There's a reason why the superstars of the leagues, so the Seth Currys, the Trey Youngs, the I don't know who else uses floaters. Mike Conley. Like there's a reason why it's those top guards that use it and not many other people, because it is a touch game. Because it is like you see the guys with the best touch in the league use it. Guys with the it's just, and Ben is not that guy. And there's no fault on that either. It's nothing wrong with Ben not being being a part of his game. It's just when the parts of his game that should be good and should be there are not being efficient and not going well, that's when it's a problem.
Yep.
Mark says Simmons is 37% from 0 to 6 feet. His points per possession in pick and roll is like 0.2. he is just struggling. 41%, I think it was. It is just brutal. Amadeo, what's going on, man? What's going on, Amadeo? Make sure you check out the Fired Up podcast. Awesome stuff. Amadeo and I did a live stream of the Flyers game last night. Went extremely well.
Nice.
Flyers are
playing well.
I feel like hockey is so good, so primed for a live stream. It's just
intense, man.
Yeah.
It's just back and especially last night, it was just back and forth. You can't comment on the game. Like it's just so fast.
Hockey is one of those sports too, in my opinion, that it's like you could not know what's going on but still have fun watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it's in many ways it's the same game as basketball. I mean, it's in very many basketball, hockey, and soccer have so many things in common. It's very similar games, honestly. The difference is the goalie versus having a rim protecting center who's not actually allowed to stand below the rim. That's the main difference with the two sports, honestly.
Marquis says, Dwight said, not in my house with that block. Chris Coyle is in the house. What's going on, Coyle? Welcome. Dunder Dude says, Ben is out of whack. And Ben with some lazy passes. So, everyone, thank you.
I have a question for y'all quick. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say thank you, everyone, for watching.
Yeah, thank you, guys. No. What I was going to ask you guys is, what is your guys' opinion on Brandon Clark? I don't know what the laugh is indicating, but I can't say it's great.
Because Brandon Clark has an excellent floater for his size. You watch his game, and I say the same thing. Even I'm not saying Ben is going to be some terrific player with a floater, but he can practice it. He can spend the next few. He's only 24 years old. He can practice.
Dwight is balling.
Woo! Look at that block.
How about you, Jay? What's your opinion on Brandon Clark?
I had no strong opinion.
No. Okay. I really liked Brandon Clark coming out of oh man, it just blanked on it. Where'd he come out of?
Gonzaga, I think, right?
Yeah, I think you're right. Did he? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I really liked him coming out of the draft, and when he played in summer league, I was very excited about him. But that team though, like just Ja and Brandon Clark on the same team, it's just so exciting. And like thinking like they still have Jaren Jackson, who's not even playing yet. Like Memphis is going to be scary when they can get their team healthy and get some more guys around them.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love covering that team, honestly.
Oh yeah.
And we've actually really tried to. We've had a couple of false starts thinking we were going to have a person in Memphis to cover that team because I just find them to be really exciting young team.
Well, they're exciting and they have a good vibe. Like it's not like I guess the best thing I can say, it's not like it's like oh my goodness. I can't think of a team off the top of my head right now, but it's not a young team that has like that young. What's up?
It's not the Kings.
Yeah, yes, good. That's a great point. It's not that vibe of a team like that. It's got that like fun, like Ja brings that kind of energy to that team, I feel like. And I don't know, they're just fun to watch. Even a guy like Dylan Brooks, who definitely gets a little bit more hype than I think what his player value is to the league. But like he's so fun to watch just because of that.
Yeah, they got a great coach too. Honestly, if the Sixers had struck out on the Doc Rivers level, that would have been a call I would have made if I was the Sixers ownership. Try to steal Taylor Jenkins away. Philly guy, coached in Philadelphia, young, just a really good feel for how to manage a team.
Yeah, I hear you.
Dwight Howard is crushing this game today. The Sixers are up 17-15. Dwight Howard has 4.7 boards, 2 blocks in 8 minutes. He's looking terrific.
No fouls.
That's key. That's it. That's the key.
At least last I checked. Let me look again. Yeah, no fouls. So, he's 8 minutes in with no fouls. Now you start to think you can get 32 minutes out of him. That limits how much time you need Tony Bradley to play. It also limits the chances that you get both of them in foul trouble, and now you got Ben Simmons playing center. So
Sixers are doing a good job defensively holding the Memphis Grizzlies to 27% from the floor, but the Sixers have also not hit a single three so far this game.
Tyrese has taken, I think, at least 2 that I can remember watching, and both were bricks off the back rim. So
Tony Bradley getting some burn. Here we go. Coyle, where you at, man?
Matisse is in there as well.
The TB11.
So I like this pairing when you put Bradley in, having Matisse to disrupt things so that people don't get easy walks to the rim.
Any update on Vincent Poirier? I'll be right back.
He is still out. Let me look at this. So Poirier in today's
correct me if I'm wrong, but Vincent Poirier was out because of COVID protocols, correct?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. He is out for COVID protocol. Yep.
Okay. So how is it that because I know we only got told that got told that one player had tested positive in Seth Curry. How is it that other players have come back sooner than that?
So the
others,
other players were at the same table at a team dinner. So that's why as soon as he went positive, they had to put the rest of them in protocol. So as they become tested and confirmed to be negative, then they're able to return to the lineup. So that's basically what it comes down to.
Gotcha.
Shake with a nice pull-up 3 off the dribble.
There is also a nice play coming. I don't want to spoil, but it was a nice play. The Memphis Grizzlies call a timeout, and the Sixers are up 22-17 going into that timeout.
You gotta love Maxey's feel for when to cut.
Yeah, you see what I was talking about?
Yeah, it would have been really easy for him to just go to the corner, which was their default default instruction. But then when he saw that the way that transition defense set up, he saw that open lane. So It's just he's a really impressive guy. Really impressive guy.
He's smart. He's not like once again, like I said before, he's not that timid rookie who you're used to seeing come in the league like that will just follow the exact game plan. He goes with his gut and it works out. It's been working out for him so far.
Yep.
Dives, how'd it go? How'd it go?
Well, what go? What?
I don't know, when you walked away, how'd it go?
Went pretty well. Sixers are up 22-17, 5 points off the bench so far, all from Shake Milton. Again, the bench is going to be tough to get points here, but other than Shake Milton tonight. But Tobias Harris leads away with 6 points, a block in 10 minutes. And then you've got Dwight Howard and Maxey with 4 points apiece. So Sixers are looking pretty good. Pretty good. I'm okay with what I'm seeing so far. I like to see a couple threes drop. But speaking of drop, we've got the voice of the people joining us today. He is Rob Lange, the host of the Madness podcast. Follow him on Twitter at Philly_Madness. What's going on, Rob?
How we doing, guys? Yeah, a little Saturday night basketball, a little playoff football. It's a nice night.
Yeah, Saturday basketball. Like, can't beat it. Can't beat it at all, man.
Oh, and your boy TB11
getting some minutes, baby.
Getting some burn today.
Getting some minutes. He's looking terrible, I know.
Isaiah Joe's out there right now as well.
We talked about punchable faces in previous games. Very punchable faces on the floor right now.
Grayson Allen, man, that's a face that I wish I couldn't re-see. Like that, I hate that guy.
He's double hate the face to me because he's a dookie too.
Oh, like brutal.
He's a dookie.
I guess he had a few days off from storming the Capitol to.
Oh
man, you got some good comments so far. I like it. These guys are into it tonight.
A god has entered the chat.
Wow, I've been called a lot of things, mostly negative, but that's a new one for me.
He's flattered, guys. He's flattered.
I'm blushing. I am.
Nice D by Tony Bradley. Oh, it's called a foul. All right.
Yeah.
I think it's on the hip.
Steven agrees. Grayson Allen is a massive punch face guy.
Oh yeah.
And Coyle says, I feel like Grayson's just crying all the time.
He's gonna be a very successful senator someday, I'm sure.
That's awesome.
Oh, we missed a foul.
Oh man.
Oh, by the way, we have halftime entertainment today.
Oh,
do it.
Yeah.
What is it?
You'll see when it comes.
Private chat.
No, you'll have to wait.
We all have to wait, Justin. You're like my.
There's a private chat for a reason. I think if the host knows, the co-host gets to know. Dives, come on.
You might be closer to my daughter's age than you are to mine.
How old's your daughter?
5.
How old are you?
36.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, you're right in the middle, aren't you?
Wow, man. Shake Milton with a nice little runner there. N1. Shake Milton is now up to 7 points in 5 minutes. Loving my player of the game pick here with Shake Milton. Feeling good. Feeling good, guys. Kevin asks, why is Shake Matisse and Tobias back already?
I just said that. Jason just explained that. But Jason, do you mind explaining that one more time? Why Shake Matisse and Tobias are back already and Poirier isn't?
Yeah, so those guys were held out because they were at the same table as Seth Curry at a team dinner, and they passed all of their testing protocols. Poirier, for some reason, I haven't heard that he's positive, but he's held out, so he clearly has not passed the protocols.
We've got strippers for Jason, Justin, 50 Shades Persicati. It is true. There's a rumor on the street that
definitely says Jason, but okay.
That Justin is the Christian Grey of
that says Jason. That says Jason.
But it is true that Justin is our Christian Grey.
Wow.
I think that's where we're at.
Oh, we lost Rob. Wait, no, that was back. Okay.
I don't know what happened. Like I felt like someone kicked me out. Justin, kick me out.
Oh, it's someone. It was God telling somebody that Rob is just not allowed to be here anymore.
Oh man.
All right, Sixers are only up here.
So I wonder what's going on with Valanciunas. Only played 5 minutes in that first quarter.
Is it me or is like Valanciunas has always battled Embiid pretty hard? Is that a bad take?
No, he has. He's had good success, and he would be the matchup advantage. So I don't know. He might. I'm guessing he's hurt because I'm looking at this, and he has
oh my
one
God.
foul. So
Yikes, man, that was gross.
I didn't see what happened, to be honest.
Hey, you got it.
Ben took a last second heave from 3, and it was like a good foot short from the rim.
Oh God. Dunder Dude says, "I really need Ben to score."
Well, for the Twitter sphere and everybody that could not understand why the Sixers want to do the trade, without really researching it, it probably doesn't help that James Harden, first of all, lost 30 pounds in 5 days, which is the most amazing. I need to know what he does. That's first thing. But he had a 30-point triple-double today for his Nets debut. So I'm sure that's not helping the case right now for the Twitter world when it comes to Ben Simmons.
They beat the Magic.
Yeah.
The Nets beat the Magic 122-115. I'm gonna have to watch that. I didn't get to watch it. I've been watching.
I'm definitely gonna watch the highlights of that. I'm interested to see how they're running their offense with James Harden in there.
let me explain their offense with James Harden. Give James Harden the ball and get out of the way, and let him do whatever he wants and be ready to shoot it or roll. I mean,
isn't that pretty much going to be their whole team this year?
Well, I tell you what,
hand somebody the ball, get out of the way, and just everyone else be ready to shoot it.
That's the. I'm kind of glad we don't have to watch it every night, right? Because he's very good, but it's like the least interesting basketball to watch is watching James Harden play.
Well, and I tell you, you look at the Nets right now, and I'm not saying that James Harden and Kevin Durant is not a scary idea, but they are thin. You traded a lot of those that depth that you had with, Karis LeVert, who I thought was actually one of their better players. Jared Allen is gone. You've already lost Spencer Dinwiddie to an injury. What is it? Taurean Prince, I think, was another one of the guys that went. I mean, they are at a point right now where, okay, yeah, their first unit is great, but we know that their first unit can't play the entire game. That depth issue can come back to haunt them, I think, a little bit.
Big time.
It could. And
that's why it's so important to cement Shake Milton as that like 6-man off the bench bucket getter.
Yeah,
I love the move. I love the move to keep Shake off the bench and let Tyrese run some of that pick and roll because he doesn't turn over the ball in the starting lineup. He doesn't turn over the ball. He just is pedal to the metal at attacking the basket, and he's been shown that he can really lead, which is incredible considering he just turned 20 years old. Mark Wanger says Durant had 42 points. Jeff Green running pick and roll with Harden. Watch the game. I need to watch that. That is definitely something I need to watch.
You guys might have addressed this either on a different show or earlier today, but when Seth Curry and Embiid come back, what is your starting five? Do you go back to what it was to begin the season, or
you
just go right back to it? Okay. I was just curious what people are thinking.
I've seen enough from Danny Green to keep him there, and I'm very good at that role that he provides.
Yeah.
With the other starting four there, I'm good. That like I said, oh my God, that was sick by John Morant.
Joe comes back and makes them +1.
Yo, your man, I don't know who was high on Desmond Bain, but I was. Coming out of Baylor.
We were all high on Desmond Bain.
Yeah. So he just drained a 3 for them as well.
Yeah, Bain's nice.
Dives, between the third and fourth quarter, we should talk barbecue since they're in Memphis.
All day.
Oh, and Dives,
Barbecue all day long.
Memphis barbecue, man. It's a
Never had it. Never had it.
special.
Never
Dives,
had barbecue.
at some point this evening, I am going to need you to clear up all the confusion in my head of WandaVision, because I loved it. Like, I'm so intrigued by this show, yet I'm the whole time going, when are we getting out of the 50 sitcom? Like,
Rob, go watch the live stream.
we talked about it for an hour. So the good news is I felt the same way. I wrote a review on it on episodes 1 and 2 at thepainted.lines.com. We did an hour live stream on it here at the Painted Lines YouTube channel, talking about exactly that. The good news, the bad news is I fully agree. Like, by the end of the second episode, I was like, I'm tired of this format. It's time to like get the ball rolling. The good news is it's going to be a different sitcom era.
Whoa.
So it's gonna go up to like Full House, Family Matters,
Right.
Arrested Development,
That's
Friends.
pretty-
So it's gonna have a different flavor. Yeah, it's gonna go.
But
up.
like I said, the whole thing, just by throwing in those little nuances, like of the radio.
So there it is. That is unforgivable.
Uh-oh.
I know. Listen, I saw the same thing. Trust me.
This
I know. That's why I said, dude. That's why I said, dude. He's doing
He
it
did it again. He did it again.
Yeah.
doing it every single play. And if you don't know what we are referring to, we're referring to Ben Simmons running into the paint, jumping up in the air, spinning around, and trying to figure something out when he gets there. It's not working. It's
leads to
not gonna
transition
work.
on the other end, and it's like the risk reward is completely flipped and upside down on that play. And it is a downstream effect of not having a viable jumper.
So who is the John DiFilippo on the team that's going to confront Ben Simmons and be like, cut the shit, like stop?
It should be Sam Cassell. Yeah.
Cassell's role, right?
Yep.
I mean,
I like this. Who is it? No spoil. I won't talk any spoilers. But again, if you want spoilers and predictions, we went pretty heavy on that live stream.
And I challenge Brock to do a video of all of the times Ben has done that this season.
Yo, read that.
Is he pulling a Harden and trying to get traded?
No.
no, I don't think Ben. I know everyone thinks that Ben does. I don't think Ben wants to get traded.
No.
I really don't. Like, I don't think he has any want or desire to leave this team, especially right now with this coaching staff and all the things that are in play. But man, he's got that. That's the play that irritates the hell out of me when it comes to.
It's worse than irritation. It is a non-starter. It cannot happen. It cannot happen. It can't.
Big Shane Gillis, I'm pretty sure we're best friends in like another dimension. That is an awesome comment. I love it.
It is, except Miyagi does better than Cobra Kai, damn it.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rob. Yes. Balance over strike first.
True, crazy.
You guys are living off the movies.
So look at this. Stephen Green says that's Ben's signature when show guys when it works, it's a legendary move.
But it never works.
I won't say it never works.
No, but my point is, if you're going to go in the air like that and make a legendary move, you're not turning around, doing a 180 and trying to throw the ball to God knows where.
No.
I mean, it's just not. Jason said it. The risk reward is just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Yep. It's the outlets should be the corners in that, but the teams are taking the corners away and they're forcing him to go top of the key for his outlet. and they're jumping that pass. It's like teams know what's happening. They are game planning to create that decision on his part, and they're jumping it. It's a pick six is what it is. And how many pick sixes are you going to tolerate from your quarterback? So how many times can you watch the same pick six on an out route before you say your quarterback can't do this?
All right.
I love this comment. Chris Dunn's his legendary turnover move, and Shake a Lot says absolutely unforgivable. This is something you learn in freaking CYO ball, for God's sake.
Yep.
It's true. It's 100%
Well,
true.
and I think part of the
Oh my God.
I think part of the issue is when Ben Simmons played at the level that we talk about CYO basketball, if he did that because he was so much more skilled, he got away with it. But he needs to understand it ain't that anymore.
Yeah, but they weren't playing defense this way at AAU levels,
True.
right?
Very true.
And D'Angelo Russell has talked about it. He wasn't afraid to shoot back then. So this is a new but recurring problem with him.
Yeah.
It's because the defenses are willing to live with it.
Right.
They're willing to live with the leaving guys open on the perimeter.
How do you feel about this comment?
We need to trade Ben, but I'm not sure everyone wants to trade him for a scoring guard with Shake, Tyrese, Seth, Harrison, and B. We have enough scoring. I think we need a 3 or 4. Any reaction? I'm tired of talking about this. I've done it so many times. What are your thoughts?
I don't know.
Can't you get a 3 or 4 that scores though? Like, I'm not saying trade Ben. You guys know that I'm not on that side of things. But what's the problem with saying you get a 3? First of all, I hate putting positions on guys anymore in the NBA because it's a lot more But if you're saying you got to get a 3 or 4, okay. But shouldn't they still be a scorer? You still want the guy that can create. I mean, even if you're not trading Ben, I think that's something that people want to see on the Sixers is that one guy who could create his own shot, create his own opportunity. So, okay.
I like this. Steven says, it says the Ben Simmons picking up his dribble and passing midair is as annoying as Doug Peterson calling a backwards pass to Nelson Aguilar in 3rd and 2.
Disclaimer. Do not get me on an Eagle soapbox today. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. I've literally been annoyed all day. I've had text messages with people, and it's like I think every time I try and say it, and it's probably partially my fault, I'm being misconstrued. People are missing my points that I'm making. Not you, Dive. We had a good back and forth today, but I think my points. I think Shane was missing my point today in the group chat. I think we're a lot more alike than he thinks, but I have other ideas, and I really would rather just say "Go Sixers." Talk about that.
All right, moving.
I don't think we have to go to trade the guy every time we see a real problem that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
I would say, fuck your true shooting percentage. Take the bad shot instead of turning the ball over.
Yes.
Like, it's just not it. That is the play right there. That's what you want him doing instead of turning around, right? And he made that one.
Ooh.
But you'd rather have him shoot 37% than turn the ball over.
Yeah, and see, that's where if he did that, then I'd want everyone who rips him to shut up because he's shooting. And I agree with you, Jason. I'd rather him shoot and miss, like on that shot, rather than turn the ball over. Yep. Because even if it's at a 30% clip, 36% clip, that's 36% better chance of scoring than when you turn it over. So.
Chris Dunn says, when do we play a real good team? Wednesday. Hopefully Wednesday we have a full roster and we go against the Boston Celtics. That'll be a really fun time. So Wednesday, Boston Celtics.
Yeah, I hope the game is played, but if Marcus Smart has a hangnail or Jason Tatum, I don't know. He didn't get the right shoelaces. The game.
All right. Ben needs to come out with a statement game, and he's completely killing the offense. 5 turnovers on Ben Simmons and 5 points and 5 assists. That assist to turnover ratio for Ben, it's not been kind for Ben Simmons this year. So Ben's having an off month like Tobias last month. Did Tobias have an off month last month? Did he? I don't think I would call it an off month. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Tobias has been terrific, especially from 3. Sixers are losing 44-41. Leading scorer in the game is Shake Milton with 9 points in 12 minutes. My player of the game prediction is going well so far.
Mine is going terribly.
We even had a Matisse Thybulle prediction. I love the balls on that guy. That was out there. Matisse Thybulle.
I mean, Matisse has already hit a 3. So
anyway.
Someone brought up a good point. I actually saw this week that, unfortunately, fortunately, depends on what you think of them. One of the biggest voices on Twitter, Sixers voices on Twitter, is that of Spike Eskin, right? I mean, it just is. Whether you want to, whether you love him, hate him, whatever, he's one of the biggest voices out there. So that narrative, which it's very clear he doesn't like Ben. So because he's one of the biggest voices, I think that's where it carries this more weight. And now you're getting all these people to pile on. And it's just gotten to a point where it's like, I don't even want to talk about it. If it happens, so be it. But just stop. Just leave it alone.
But we're in a game. We're in the middle of a live stream watching a game. We can criticize him for the very real problems without making it a big hot take looking for colors. Like I promise everyone in the comments, we're not saying this stuff to inflame you guys. He's got a lot of strengths and he has some very real weaknesses. And Steven, not to call you out, but the recency bias, confirmation bias with Ben Simmons is a much bigger problem than recency bias. I promise you. People dig into their opinion about him. If they didn't like him before he was drafted, they don't like him now. If they liked him before he was drafted, they love him now. People are digging in. They're going to their corners. They're going down with their ships. It's okay to say that he's a queen of the chessboard on defense, does a lot of great things in transition, and still has some major, major, major flaws to work on.
Cam says Spike Eskin is with Ben is like ESPN and Carson Wentz. Can I add Mike Sielski and Jacob Voracek to that?
You know what's funny about that whole situation, and I know that I may get blasted for this. Voracek needs to do that better.
I know.
And I mean that from the sense that I understand that Mike Sielski obviously said something or wrote something about him he didn't like, but Mike Sielski's been a guy that's been around for a long time. I mean, if you look at the guys that have come out to defend Mike today in the media, Jake, look, I think Jake, if he had an issue, should have taken it up with Mike personally, privately. To do it in that regard, I mean, even watch Travis Konechny when he does it. Travis Konechny doesn't know what to do after that. Like it's just a bad look. Everything's going well. You don't need to do that at that.
I didn't see it. What happened?
So it was
right.
It was a post game interview, and Mike Sielski asked him a question, and Jacob Voracek. I don't even think he heard the question. He clearly knew exactly what he was going to respond with, and it was something along the lines of some kind of bullshit question, another bullshit question from you again. Or
he said, "I don't want to answer anything from you, Mike. All you're going to do is write some lousy shit about me."
Okay.
So next question, I'm done with you. Like, it was just
he had a lot of curse words in there, and I remember after it,
can't do it. Can't do that.
Well, right after it happened, the NBC, that channel or whatever, was like, "I'm sorry for anything like that." Obviously, he has his feelings about this. It's unfortunate, that he had to express himself in that manner for his feelings in that manner or whatever.
Yeah. This just goes back to my these guys have much bigger problems than worrying about what somebody writes about them in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Like that's soft as hell.
Yeah.
To be worried about what was written in the newspaper when you got like 230-pound dudes skating at you at a high rate of speed, trying to take your head off. Focus on your fucking job.
Yeah.
Stop worrying about what the Inquirer writes about you.
Right.
Do your job, prove them wrong, shut the hell up.
Some players can't handle that in Philly, man.
But I'm surprised Voracek can't. He's been here for 10 years. Like, it's not like he's a newcomer to the arena.
That's soft.
You know?
Hold on. Okay, never mind. No, we're good. Never mind. I thought somebody was injured for a second, but he seems okay.
Oh, I remember Mike Missinelli.
I remember it. I thought it was bad. I thought it was
really bad. It was really bad.
But here's when he came back from the whatever it was, vacation day, suspension, whatever you want to call it, he publicly apologized through the first 10 minutes of the show because I remember listening to it. Ty Johnson, who I have a lot of respect for, has talked about it and is okay. The way Ty put it was, we are together every single day for like a family for 4 or 5 hours a day. And sometimes families get into stupid altercations that are embarrassing. And, Mike got caught in that one.
Yep.
But
I'll be right back, guys.
Yep. So low key, Ben's putting up 9, 9, and 5 and a steal and 5 turnovers. We're on pace for a quadruple double tonight, guys.
You got 9, 9, and 5 tonight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Says Stephen Green.
Big effing deal, guys. Big deal. Big deal.
I put that.
It's not stop obsessing over a 6'10" guy putting up a balanced line. It's like people throwing Russell Westbrook's line at you. He's got 5 turnovers and the team is down 1.
Right.
Like, stop with the excuses.
All right. So I put a poll on YouTube here. 437 votes. What is your stance on triple doubles in the NBA? The options were overrated, underrated, or just right. Just right won with 52% of the votes. Overrated was second with 38% of the votes. Because that's kind of like what we're talking about, Ben Simmons and triple doubles.
Point guards are there to make their team better.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So is he making other people around him better?
Yes.
If so, good. If not, not good. I don't care what the stats say.
Yeah, and I do think that I kind of lean towards in today's NBA, the triple double is an overrated stat. Like Jason said, especially when you're talking about the guys that are point guards, they're there to make plays on offense, no matter what that play is, whether it's scoring, assisting, whatever it might be. But the turnover number is the number I look at with Ben, and if that's down, I'm happy. But 5, that's not good enough.
So his true shooting percentage is a career low. His turnover percentage is a career high right now this season. So this doesn't have to be some sort of civil war. It's okay for him to be a very good player who is struggling to adapt to the way teams are defending him, and to pretend that that's not happening is just not. You're not paying attention, or you don't want to know. But his turnover percentage right now is 25.9. That's
crazy.
Bad. That's bad.
Crazy.
Sorry, real quick. What's Tyrese's turnover percentage? Because I know it's got to be way lower than that.
6.1. 6.1.
Yeah, it's very low. But let's who's another comparable tall point guard?
Magic Johnson.
All right, I'll look up Magic Johnson's turnover.
Jason, you're getting some comments on your Doc Rivers pregame.
Am I?
It said, "Hey Jason, that was an awesome experience. Thank you for sharing it with us. Hope you can continue in the future." And Ludwig says, "So cool." So pretty cool.
Awesome. I'm glad everybody liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, so turnover percentage for Magic Johnson, and remember, Showtime Magic. There are a lot of good comps with Magic Johnson. 19.4% turnover rate for his career, with a 40% assist rate. Ben Simmons' assist rate is 35%, and 19.9% turnover rate for his career. So it's in the range. It's in the range, but right now he's at 26 for this season, and the reason why it's so high is obvious. So it's obvious and fixable. So it has to get fixed, and to pretend that it's not happening is just you just shouldn't do it.
Awesome. All right. So Sixers are up 51-50 with a couple minutes remaining in the second period. Again, we'll have halftime entertainment. I'm excited to see how you guys react to this. It'll be really, really fun, I hope. And it's also going to involve our everyone watching here as well. Maybe what I'll do is I'll go one to one and see how you guys do and see if the fans get it right or if you get it right. And we'll see if we get more W's. We'll see. That could be fun.
It could be fun if I knew what it was.
Oh, my God. The youth of America just have no patience anymore.
No, I'm just kidding. Stop it.
All that patience that we had, Rob, right?
Yeah.
We were so full of patience.
Yeah. You know,
I had patience coming out of my ears.
Yeah.
I thought you were definitely going to say coming out of a different place in your ears. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, there goes
50 Shades. It's got to be one of the. Never mind. I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to leave it alone.
You should.
As Rob and I were walking uphill through the snow both ways to school, all we could think about was how patient we were.
Yeah. I mean, it was just you. You knew you'd get there eventually. You just took your time and you enjoyed the scenario.
We just kept whispering to ourselves, trust the process.
Yeah. We were the original process trusters.
Walking a mile to the bus stop.
My goodness.
Justin's like, what is happening?
I know.
What
are all these sausage comments coming from? I don't know.
Tyrese Maxey's on.
So when during the Doc Rivers thing, I was just telling people I was going to show them how the sausage was made. Kind of.
Okay.
He did say that.
50 Shades of Justin.
Is this what this is going to turn into?
I hope not.
I hope not as well.
But I will say, if it does, you brought it on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't get to decide what things the
I know.
Snatches onto.
I know.
About the people, Justin.
You're not wrong.
It's about the fans.
Listen, as long as y'all
Gotta
come
give
back,
them
50 Shades of Justin. That's fantastic.
I'm just here to have some good time with everybody watching the Sixers game, talking about the Sixers game. Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Ian's my new favorite subscriber.
I'm going to listen to Ian because I'm pretty sure he was the one who called me a god earlier.
Yes, he was.
so I won't pick on you for like 10 minutes. What is going on in the Ravens game? Oh my God.
Jason, Steven says, next time you interview Ben, can you just tell him to stop leaving his feet? Has anyone ever asked him that question?
No, we haven't asked him yet, and we should. I mean, I can predict his answer. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Is you can predict you'll get a
snarky response.
not snarky, but he's not going to give you anything of substance on a question like that.
He's going to say, well, me, the organization me and my teammates don't think I need to shoot, and I like passing more than this, and da, 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 da.
I take what the defense gives me, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. You know, and that's part of the problem is taking what the defense is giving you.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, guys, we're getting ready here for halftime. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please check us out at thepaintedlines.com. Follow us on Twitter at The Painted Lines. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Follow my man Rob on Twitter at Philly_Madness, the voice of the people. Follow my man Justin at J_Persichetti. And, of course, Jason at J Blevins NBA. We're here every week, every day, I think. Every day. I feel like I am too. But thank you, everyone here for watching. Please be sure to like. Those likes really go a long way, making this video like among the top on that YouTube search. So thank you, guys. We have some of the best fans that regularly visit and watch with us. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Score going into half, guys, is 60 for Memphis and 54 for the Sixers. What's everybody right now? What's their top takeaways for the first half besides Ben Simmons? We'll leave that alone. We've talked about that pretty much the whole game.
Who wants to go first?
Rob, I'll make you go first. Go ahead.
I mean, my takeaways are it's a little sloppy. The defensive side has not been very good, but you're missing Joel Embiid, and I don't want to make the excuse because they have to learn how to play without him. But it has been. It just looks like one of those off nights for the team. They just, Ben with the turnovers does not help, but really, you scored 54 points in the first half. You've given up 60. I mean, that's where the issue has to come. So they'd have to, it's still a winnable game, absolutely. But I think they got to lock in defensively and, make sure they're making a couple on Memphis on that end.
I mean, the bench has 18 points so far this game. I think the bench is doing what they can. You just got to see more production from your main guys in Ben Simmons and Danny Green. And Tyrese Maxey had a kind of a low-key solid first half, 8 points, 14 minutes. Again, 0 turnovers by Tyrese Maxey in the first half. But the number that sticks out to me is that 5 turnovers from Ben Simmons in the first half. He's just got to cut that down. What's the points off turnovers today? I'm going to quickly look.
And while he's looking, believe it or not, Tyrese Maxey is the only person on the team right now whose plus or minus is positive at 4.
So Tyrese Maxey is playing really well. Again, this is a game. We're only down 6 at halftime. I think the majority of us here thought that would be a relatively close game without Joel Embiid. Yeah. What about you, Jason?
I'm surprised that the Grizzlies are playing so much 5-out and small ball. I think they're trying to stretch the Sixers out to probably attack downhill and get Dwight Howard in trouble. The cause for concern would be Brandon Clark's 1 for 9. Dylan Brooks is 3 for 10. So those two guys combined 4 for 19. If they start making more shots, then I think the Sixers are in trouble. Valanciunas only played half of the game so far, just under 12 minutes. So they're playing a lot of perimeter guys. And yet they've only shot 11 threes. So if I'm the Grizzlies, I'm feeling really good about where I'm at halftime. If I'm the Sixers, They just gotta dominate the glass right now. If the other team's gonna play 5 out, you have to dominate the glass. So right now they are tied in rebounds, and they can't be tied at the end of the game. And I do think that Ben cut down on those turnovers later in the second half. Maxey is doing fine. So I don't know. I think it's I think it's gonna be tough in the second half.
I got caught out here. Nadir says, this was Ben's team. Do you stick with that? I never said that.
Nadir, how's Furcon?
All right, so what I think where that comment comes from was before the season started, and said that I think Ben was the engine of a fast start because with a no preseason, and I think the offense needing to have at least 2 weeks to figure it out, that defensively Ben would have been the guy when the Sixers started the season. Actually stayed today. I think Seth Curry is the engine of this team when it comes to spacing and giving Ben and Joel the space they need. So I am a Ben fan. I do think he's constantly just thrown into way too much shit than he really needs to be. Like Jason said, has said countless times tonight, he's got serious flaws, but he also does things extremely well. And you can't go into a playoff series against Kevin Durant without a Ben Simmons. So stop fooling yourself. Let's go into halftime entertainment. I think what we're going to do here, we're going to go one by one here with Justin, Jason, and Rob. And what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to play a game. It is Name That Sixer.
Oh, boy.
Does the fans get it right, or do you get it right? Justin, I know you're coming. It's going to be hard for you. But, yeah, here we go. Halftime entertainment. Dana Barros. You might be
screwed. Am I screwed? Is that what's happening?
You're fully screwed, man. You're fully screwed.
Oh, man.
Why don't we lead off with Jason on this one? Let me make that bigger. Hold on.
Yeah.
I saw you put this picture up earlier today.
Yeah, I did. I saw this too. I have no idea who that is.
I still can't really see him.
Can you make it the you should be able to on PowerPoint make it the size of the slide.
I do, but it goes full screen. How's that? Is that any better?
I think that's a lot better. If you full screen
put it in presentation mode.
But I won't be able to see. But so guys, if you can guess in the comment section, can you get it right, or does Jason get it right? Let's do this thing.
Is that Danielle Marshall? Danielle Marshall.
Is that your final guess?
That's my final guess.
All right. Jason says Danielle Marshall. Where are we at with?
That's where most people are going.
We got some Eric Snow comments as well from Nadir and Biff.
Never that chubby.
Popeye Jones, Eric Snow, Andre Iguodala, Danielle Marshall, Sean Bradley. Oh man, that's great. Will Smith. All right. The answer, no one's right here. The answer is Mark Karcher from Temple University. He was.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Were you Justin?
Yeah, that was my guess.
Oh, to you.
All right, let's go to Rob. All right, guys, round number 2. No one got it right. Round number 2. Name that Sixer. Who is this?
Oh, I freaking know it too. Why can't I put his name there?
Who is that Sixer? We need like game music on the background or something.
We really do. Wait a minute. Maybe. Man. It looks like Pepe Sanchez, but did he play on the Sixers?
Yeah, he did.
Did he? I'm going to go with Pepe.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Pepe Sanchez is correct. Well done.
Oh, did you really just put that on? Because I was about to do that. Like literally, like I was just looking that up on my phone.
I forgot that Pepe had a little run.
Yeah.
This is gonna get us DMCA'd.
Yeah, big time. We just got shut down completely. Pepe Sanchez, Mark Karcher, both from the Temple University. Let's continue. Justin, ready?
No.
Name that Sixer.
Wow.
Can I get a different one?
Nope.
Tar Heel, baby. That's a Tar Heel. Another guy I was wrong on.
Another guy that Colangelo was wrong on too.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh no. He was a Hinkie signing.
Was he?
Yes, he was.
No, not that guy. I honestly don't know who that is. So I'm just gonna go with see, Big Shane Gillis said it too. I was gonna say Jared Bayless, even though I know it's not Bayless. But that's the first year I started watching Sixers basketball when Bayless was still on this team. So
amazingly, and I have an awesome picture of like 5 point guards in a row for Carolina. So he's actually hanging on my wall in his Carolina uniform.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah. Who is it, Rob?
Kendall Marshall.
Kendall Marshall. Mark Wenger got it right.
He was very good at college.
He was his first game as a Sixer. I was there, and he put English on a pass into the corner that it was like on its way out of bounds and then hooked into the guy's pocket. I was like, "Woo!" I haven't had a point guard in a while.
Yeah.
And then he wound up being terrible.
Yeah, it was awful. All right, Rob, you're up. Ready? Name that Sixer.
That's Jackson. Jermaine Jackson.
Is that your final answer? What did the crowd? What did the fans think?
Jones.
Is it Jones? Jermaine Jones. It was okay.
The correct answer is Jermaine Jones.
Why did I say Jackson? But
yeah, you were close.
I remember him from that era. I remember him. Actually, he was an energy guy off the bench, if I remember.
Yeah, nice.
And he started in the playoffs.
Yeah,
he could knock down the corner three.
Yeah, I liked
what was the thing.
He was one of those guys you love to root for because he had a lot of energy when he came in the game.
My memory of Jermaine Jackson was he had the biggest arc in his jump shot. It looked like it would touch the bottom of the scoreboard before it hit the net. It was so fun to watch. Jermaine Jones. I love that guy, man. Maybe he was a spark plug. All right, Jason, last one. Ready, man? I think this one's hard. And if you get this right, you win 10,000 TPL points. And you are officially the winner of tonight's Name That Sixer.
Right.
Here we go. Name that Sixer.
Rex Chapman? Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Hold on. Summer League.
Myers Leonard.
Summer League. Gosh. You got to zoom in. I can't really see him.
Just click, widen your screen. You'll be able to see it. Go into full screen.
I am.
No, I'm talking to Jason. Make your stream full screen for a second so you can look at it.
Who do you guys got? Comment in this comment section. Who is this guy?
I have no idea who this is.
I'm telling you, it's Myers Leonard.
It's not Myers Leonard. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I don't think Myers Leonard was on their Summer League team.
Rob, shut up.
Who is this guy? You pick some tough ones, man. I don't know. I give.
We have Yam saying Joe Montana. Jimmer Fredette is incorrect.
It looks like I don't even know.
He was a big man.
He literally, to me, looks like Myers Leonard and Jonas Jerebko in one.
I feel like someone surgically put his head on that body because the head's not fit.
Not Jerebko. He came from the University of Arizona.
TJ McConnell.
Quite possibly the worst basketball player I've ever seen. He does kind of look like Hansbrough. I see that.
Don't you disgrace Hansborough, Mark. Don't you do it.
All right, everyone give up. I don't think anyone got this one. The correct answer is Caleb Tarczewski. Caleb Tarczewski.
You could have given me 10 years, Dives, and I would have never got that.
Anyway, one of the worst summer league players I've ever seen in my life. So thank you for playing. Baskets and gifts are on your way out. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.
By the way, this NFL game is horrific. It's 3-0.
Big Shane says I should have known we were looking at Targaryen.
Big Shane is winning the night.
Oh man, I love his comments every time.
Wait, I thought Ian Acosta was because he said you were a god.
I mean, I love that he said I was a god, but Big Shane has made me laugh pretty hard here tonight.
Yeah, I think if he was on Game of Thrones, you had the Mountain, the Hound. He would have been the dog. I think.
Was that fun? Should we keep doing that?
Yeah, for sure. I think those
Can
were.
we make it players that I know?
Yeah.
Can we make it players that people like my age will know?
So,
Yeah, I'll do that.
2018 on Dives for the
No. I know other players than that.
The
I know
further
other
you go
players
back,
than
I
that.
think that they have to be top 7 rotation guys or starters. Like if it's between 2000 and 2010, they should be top 7 rotation guys. In the 90s, they should be like starters. 80s, they should be like,
Too easy.
it's too easy for some.
Too easy.
on one of these games. I want to see Rodney Buford. You guys remember?
I love Rodney Buford, man.
You got to put Tony
Great.
Rotten on there. You got to put Tony Rotten on there. I'll know him.
Oh, Tony Rotten, that's tough, man.
I'll know him.
All right, start of the half, second half. Let's go Sixers, baby.
Oh, and you have to put my least favorite Sixer maybe of all time, Hollis Thompson. He needs.
I thought for sure you're going to say Robert Covington.
Well, no, he's not my least favorite. His cult-like following was my least favorite. And the fact, well, I'm not kidding. Don't get me started. Why?
You would have hated.
You don't
me.
like shooters that miss. Is what I'm saying. You like your shooters to make every shot.
Maybe not every.
40% from 30 is not enough, I guess.
No, it wasn't. I just, you know what it was? It was when he missed, he really missed. Like it wasn't just, in and out. Like he had some horrendous.
Dude, what in the
They
fuck?
were in the fast break, and he would just pull up, and you would be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah,
contract. It was the contract. Once he signed that contract, it was death row for everyone. I love Covington.
No. Covington, Covington's a good player.
Yeah, I know, I agree, but like once he signed that contract, there were expectations then put on him that were unfair.
He signed that contract. He was traded like how many months later? Like, quick.
Quite quickly.
Yeah, for Jimmy Butler. Hollis, we used to practice the Hollis falling out of bounds, diving out of bounds on the baseline 3 because it was such a fun attempt to practice. It's like when you're a kid and you imitate people's swing in baseball. Hollis had a very imitatable 3-point shot.
I worked the Sixers summer camp for 1 year, and he actually came to talk to the kids. and I remember sitting in the back, and I'm like, this is cool for the kids. It's an NBA player. The worst part was the damn camp instructor told me earlier in the day that it was Nerlens Noel was coming. And then Nerlens had a bail, so they sent Hollis Thompson. And it was, like, painful to watch. Like, he just did not have the skill set to talk to these kids. Like,
Really?
real short answers. I mean, it wasn't even like he was being a jerk. I just don't think it was in his forte to do. But I remember
Georgetown. You'd think he would have gotten.
Yeah, I know. But no, yeah, he was. It did not. They were asking him questions, and he was like giving like 1-2 word answers. I was like, oh my god.
That's great. Coyle says the contract was great. Dario Saric getting some love here. I would love to see Dario come back. I would be like off the bench. I'm good for Dario coming back.
How's he doing in Phoenix? I mean, I know
I
they're
have no idea. I don't watch anything outside of Philly. Yeah. We're not ranking people here. Stop this.
I don't know who clicked that.
Whoa! Wait a minute. You want to talk about a 180 in an hour?
No, yeah. From God to dog in an hour.
Holy shit! I mean,
went from hero to zero.
It at least takes people a week to realize they don't like me. It at least get a week out of you. I feel like.
So Dario is pretty much.
Dude, what the fuck is our transition defense right now? What is this?
I don't know. It's probably is Ian Lacosta over there or Acosta. Holy shit. Maybe.
So that's another turnover, though, by the way. That's another turnover on Ben.
Oh, my God.
That leads to a transition basket. You don't blame the defense on that. You blame the turnover. It's just the fact of life.
If I'm honest with you, I wasn't looking, and then I looked up, and I just saw easy transition lob, and so it definitely could have been Ben. I just literally didn't see it before that.
Ben tried to do the snug pick and roll with Dwight, and it led to a turnover. He left his feet, tried to pass it into Dwight, led to a turnover and a run out.
Sixers are down 10 now. Ben Simmons has 5 turnovers in 20 minutes. And that has been the storyline of Ben. I mean, not the storyline, but among the many storylines for Ben Simmons this year. Also speaking about his terrific defense. So Chris Dunn says at least Ben is leading in a category. And a lot of people are trying to trade Ben for TJ.
Oh, man.
Again, you can hold a guy accountable. You can criticize a problem without trying to run a guy out of town. These don't have to be connected.
Oh, God. At least Ben is leading in a category, Chris Dunn says. That's terrible.
Yeah, Tobias Harris is leading the way with 11 points tonight. Dwight Howard, 6 points, 10 boards. He has a block. Wait, hold on. I just got an ad. Hold on.
Yeah, and Dwight's been fine, but they are trying to use post play and abuse the matchup, and he's not really exploiting the matchup down there.
Yeah.
I mean, if this doesn't show the amount of turnovers we've had throughout the game, Memphis has put up 60 shots in the game, and the Sixers have put up 47.
I also look at the starting lineup. They are 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 0 for 7 from 3. The starting lineup is 0 for 7 from 3. Meanwhile, the bench is 3 for 6. So that tells you everything.
I think somewhat of a reason for that is because Joel not being in the lineup and commanding the half court with double teams. You're seeing guys that are usually getting open 3-pointers and good looks, or I shouldn't say good looks, better looks, not getting as clean a looks right now. So I think that could attribute to that.
I put out a tweet a little while ago that like when the Sixers win in all their wins, the starters shoot like near 50%. So that is that you look it's not trending very well tonight.
It feels like time to show a.
Oh my God! Don't
shot chart.
Dude, the hesitation. The hesitation that. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What do you not see on this shot chart?
Corner threes.
So Memphis is playing flat. They're giving up above the break threes. There's one. So almost on cue, if on cue. Memphis is doesn't believe the Sixers can shoot above the break. They're taking away the paint and the corner three. So
Love it. Love it. Danny Green hits a corner three. Need it. That's the first three by the starting lineup tonight with 9 minutes remaining in the third.
But it's only their second attempt from a corner.
Yep.
Oh my God, we're getting bailed out though in a lot of areas. It seems like.
You're keeping the game close though. You do expect that if the game is tight with 6-7 minutes left, Sixers have the experience and the options to pull a win out. So this isn't complete. The wheels are falling off right now.
Yeah, the wheels haven't fallen off tonight, and Ben hasn't been good, and I get it. It's 2 games in a row, I guess 2 out of the last 3 games or whatever. But it's like
he had a triple-double the other day.
Well, yeah, but regardless of that, but takes like this are just not correct. Ben is not a trash basketball player. You've got to get out of your own way as a fan. And I don't mean this. Vic could be a big fan, but mostly it's the casual fan who only believes shooting is the only part of the game that would call Ben Simmons a trash basketball player. I mean, it's just the fact.
That was a hell of a pass by Ja right there. Whew.
I mean, I would be completely fine with what I see from Ben so far this season if it weren't for the turnovers. If you could reduce the turnovers so far, I'm good with what I see from Ben.
No, and I agree with that. I don't think I would be completely okay if he's scoring 13 points per game and he's averaging a triple-double off of that on a low amount of turnovers. I'm cool with it. I can kind of agree with you on that, Dibs. Obviously, I want to see him score more, but if he's doing so well running the offense, and being efficient with it, then I'm okay with it.
All right. Here's what I want. Here's what I want to.
I got to make a drink.
Bring up. Here's the problem with this stuff. When you're playing as a player or a pitcher, pitchers go through this as well. You need to be able to set up defenders to open up other parts of your game, and he's not doing that. So normally for a guard, what they'd want to do is make the defender respect your outside shot, which opens up your drive. Or you go the other way. If you think you can beat somebody off the dribble, then you drive past them to open up your outside shot. Ben lacks the ability to do that sort of multiple play setup of a defense.
Come on.
And people are adjusting to it, and he has to adjust. So it's I don't know. I feel like I'm trashing him tonight, and I really don't want to.
No, but listen, like you said, it's okay to criticize the guy, and when these things are happening that we've seen in the past from him, you call him out on it. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's if a quarterback just always throws screen passes or always throws slants, and the defense adjusts to that, takes it away, and you keep throwing the slant, you're gonna become a bad quarterback real quick. If a pitcher throws heat and he throws 95 miles an hour, team players will catch up to that speed and they will make you pay. So you have to have another pitch. You have to have off-speed stuff. You have to have that against the highest level of professionals. So when you see the same mistakes over and over and over again, the other team is seeing it as well.
Best pitch in baseball is the changeup, period.
Right. But a changeup, if I throw a changeup, it doesn't mean anything because I can't blow it by you. Even if you're sitting on a changeup, I can't throw it by you.
You got to keep a batter off balance.
You have to make their eyes go up and down, and you got to change speeds.
Well, it's why they always talk about, young pitchers who are in the minor leagues that they've got to develop that second and third and pitch before they can make it to the bigs, because without it, it doesn't matter how hard you throw. Eventually, a major leaguer is going to catch up to that.
It's the same thing as like Carson Wentz. I love Carson Wentz. I want him to come back. I want him to thrive next year. I can't ignore what I see sometimes, and the same thing with Ben.
Yeah.
And I'm not the type of fan that's going to be like rose-colored glasses and like make you feel good inside and make everything peaches and cream. That's just not going to happen.
No, absolutely, and it shouldn't happen. And guys should be called to the to the carpet, and people should hold them accountable. I'm 100% with that. But like Jason said earlier tonight, just because you criticize or think a guy needs to play better or do something better, that does not mean you get rid of that guy or start calling for that guy's head. As this town has really gotten, like,
it's really bad.
It's a popular thing to do anymore around here.
Yeah, if you it's either like it's like politics now in sports. Like you're either this side or this side. There's no in between, and it's just brutal. It is sickening, brutal to be a sports fan in Philadelphia right now.
Yeah, I think it's brutal to be a sports fan in general half the time now. Like you look at any team or any like league, it's just there's so much, like you said, there's so much divide in you have either this opinion or you have this opinion. If you say this on the internet, you'll have thousands of people coming at you saying, "Oh, what about this?" It's like, okay, yes, I agree with your point, but I'm just saying this. That you can say that. Like,
but never said that.
It's like the debate. It's like the debate of saying, you like Michael Jordan, and you like LeBron James. You can like both the players without saying one is better and one is worse. Like it's just,
yeah. There's a reason why Giannis likes Milwaukee, because no one is on a live stream right now with 50 people arguing over his weaknesses and strengths.
Right.
So there's a reason why some players will gravitate that.
Yeah.
Other players are going to want that spotlight. Most of them, they want their highlights on House of Highlights, and they want you to shut the hell up about anything else. You know, D'Angelo Russell wants his highlights out there, and he wants everyone to not pay attention to the other 47 minutes of the game.
No, you're right. And I mean, look, it's like the gift and the curse when you talk about Philadelphia sports is the fan base and the passion, right? I mean, yeah, it's a good thing, but this is what I talked about a few weeks ago, where we have made it almost a pastime of really running out the guys that you could label stars in this town. I mean, no matter, and it's been happening for years. I mean, look, that Phillies team that won the World Series in 2008 was beloved by all. But by the end, people couldn't wait to get them out of town. Like, and I'm talking in like 2010, 2011. So when they were still in that window, like I remember, like one of the most painful memories for me was the year that the Phillies won 108 games, 110 games, whatever it was. And they lose that Game 5 1-0 game to the Arizona Cardinals, and it ends with, Ryan Howard rupturing. I think it was his Achilles or whatever.
That was so sad. That was such a sad thing.
And the hatred and the visceral language that was used by this fan base for a guy that 2 years earlier they were lauding at every turn was an utter disgrace. Mm-hmm. It was an utter disgrace. We run these guys. Like, I am amazed sometimes how these guys that retire come back and talk about how much they love it here. And I think it's what Jason says. They just got us. They understood the fan base, but it doesn't make it right the way this fan base attempts to run guys out of here at one or two bad seasons.
It's very much a sports talk radio thing where, here's our number, 267, blah, blah, blah. Does Ben Simmons need to get the hell out of town? And it's like that will generate callers.
And it'll generate that oh my goodness, that exact divide that we were just talking about. Like that kind of a question, and that's where you have people who are who never liked the pick, or you have people who love him. And it just grows people both ways even more and more and more. And when you have shit and I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say. It's just I agree. I hate how toxic Philly fans can be. And a lot of times the toxicity is coming from people who aren't educated, as fans, if you know what I mean by that.
Or they don't watch the game and just look at it.
They're the
Honestly, I think Philly fans they know their team better than almost any other fan base knows their own team.
Yeah.
What I think they don't have is a perspective of context around the league of other teams. So when they see an imperfect player, they assume every other team has perfect players.
Mm-hmm.
And you can pick apart, with the exception of LeBron James, you can basically pick apart any player ever. And we just have a culture that obsesses over our sports people, our teams. And it's got a lot of great things.
Can I give a good example? Can I give a good example of what you're talking about right now? A great example of this would be Al Horford.
Mm-hmm.
Al Horford playing for Boston was exactly what we got. But for what we saw a lot of times when he played us was him being able to stretch the court, and them trying to stretch out Philly's defense. So a lot of times you saw him come in here, good defense against Joel, and you saw him be able to stretch the floor and hit pick and pop shots. But he was not the volume 3-point shooter that at the power forward position that Brett Brown needed in his offense. That should be a good example of that, in my opinion, where everyone was very, very, very excited to get Al Horford, and they're like, oh, he's the stretch big we need, but that's not actually what he was. And if you watched his game for the Celtics consistently, you would see that.
I agree with you, but I do think he was being asked to shoot the ball in different spots, and you assumed that a 33-year-old player was going to be able to adapt his game and shoot from the spots in the offense that he was put into.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't adapt, and his field goal percentage was way down.
Yeah.
His 3-point percentage was slightly down. But you're right, he was mostly the same player. But I would have expected him to be able to hit spots from those wing threes on the pop versus the top of the arc, which is where he took most of his threes with Boston.
Yeah.
It was only a few feet over, but it made a bigger difference than you'd think it would make in a 33-year-old player.
I wanted to mention, Jason was talking about the obsession of the Philadelphia sports fan. I think what that obsession does is it ruins objectivity. So because of, you feel as a fan, and look, that's who I am, right? That's who I talk about. I'm a fan first of this city. And you feel so invested that your emotions take over, and it totally puts the blinders on to maybe a positive thing that these guys are doing. Like, let's looking back now, and I hope most fans could do this. When you look back at that, for example, that 2008 Phillies team, what they did was invigorate baseball in this town. Baseball had been gone for years, and they brought it back. And if you can put yourself back from 2007 to 2011, that was a great time. Same thing with the Eagles with Andy Reid in the 2000s. Yeah, they didn't win. Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, it pissed us off. But my God, how fun was it every year knowing you had an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl for 7 years?
Yeah, but in defense of the fans, there were things that Andy Reid did over and over and over and over again, and Donovan McNabb. And as much as I defend Donovan now, I was very frustrated with him because you saw how good he could be. But Andy Reid had the same problems over and over and over again that were self-limiting.
Yeah, well, I agree. And look, by the time Andy went, it was probably a couple years too late. I've always said that. I thought the year that they went 8-8 with the I don't know if it was because the Dream Team was when he was out, right? No, he was out 8-8 with the Dream Team is when I thought he should have been out. They kept him around. They won 4 games. But there's such this hatred for guys, and it's like just try and remember and I'm more talking about the players. Coaches are a different breed, and I think we all know this. There comes a time where a coach has to go. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short. I said it about Doug Peterson. It may not be the fairest way that he had to go, but you could tell they've regressed every year, and there was not a connection there. Something was missing, and I actually think getting rid of him was the right thing. It was keeping the other guy in town at the general manager situation that was wrong. But I just think our fan base sometimes loses objectivity when it comes to some of these guys. And right now, you're seeing two guys at the same time kind of go through that in Carson Wentz and Ben Simmons. I mean, Carson was as bad could be this year. But I'm sorry, I'm not willing to throw away a guy after 1 year of as bad can be. You know, when
I agree that you should get a coach in there and see if another voice changes everything. But if he's not willing to listen, if he is stubborn to the point of not adapting, then
I agree.
That's a problem. Ego is healthy. Every quarterback needs it. Confidence and ego, but an unwillingness to listen and to learn makes it impossible to lead.
I agree, and I'll say what I said about Embiid and Simmons and getting them another coach. I want to see if it was Wentz not willing to listen or having a soft guy like Press Taylor who coddles you and doesn't ever stand up to you was the issue. You know, because we've talked about it. The first year with DiFilippo and Frank Reich, when he played his best football, they talked about that there were arguments in the room. But he obviously was listening because he saw the way he did that year. So I would like to give it 1 year with a new regime, but then you got to hire the right regime, and who knows if they do that.
Yep, I would agree. As much as I do think Wentz has been coddled,
yes,
I'd still get another coach in there to see.
I agree, 100%.
I have a quick question: Has anybody seen any reports on Jonas Valanciunas?
No,
I think they want to play small, and
it's working.
I don't think he's hurt.
Man, the turnovers tonight are brutal, man.
Yep.
Brutal here. Really tough to watch tonight.
The offense is having a really hard time as well. Like, turnovers are brutal, and the offense is just like I can't tell what we're trying to get done. If I'm honest,
both of those things are connected.
Oh, all right, let's go Sixers here. Let's go. Tough going here.
Punchable face. Yeah. Very punchable.
Who's that?
You'll see.
Is his name Rob?
I have a majorly punchable face. To be honest, I would like to punch my own face a lot of the time. So,
a lot of that content that we just discussed can be found at the Voice of the People.
I got to put everyone out.
Just type in Paint Lines YouTube channel, click playlist, click Voice of the People, and everything we just said. There's amazing videos by Rob discussing everything we just discussed, and it's amazing. Check that out.
I got to create. I've been meaning to put a new one out this week with the firing of Doug and kind of the hatred of the Sixers by Adam Silver, that everybody else's games have gotten postponed and not the Sixers. And then obviously now this Carson Wentz thing gets thrown in there. It's one of those shows where I like to keep it fast paced and get it, keep it short. And it's like every time I turn around, another story hits, and I'm like, damn it. I could talk about that too.
Oh,
so the Sixers going into the fourth are down 88-76. Yeah.
I think that the lack of defense is like the turnovers and defense has been the storyline for the Sixers today. A lack of defense, I should say. What's the fast break points?
Sorry, go ahead.
Actually, the Sixers had caught up on fast break points. Oh, no, points off turnovers. I'm sorry. Points off turnovers is 16-2 in favor of the Grizz. So,
the Sixers have 19 turnovers, and the Grizzlies only have 6.
That's everything.
So
that's everything.
That's everything. It's
Coupled with the fact that the Sixers are shooting 27% from three, and typically we're shooting like above 40%. So,
Man, oh man. Here we go.
points in the paint, 50-32 for Memphis.
Gotta say, the Flyers game last night was a lot more fun than this.
Wins are more fun than losses. It's crazy. Crazy how that
The
works.
Flyers don't lose. They're going undefeated.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, man.
Rasheen says, no hate for Ben. He's had 4 years and forget about no three-point shot. He has no post-up, no jump shot, no go-to move, no wiggle. 4 years and very limited growth for a number 1 overall pick.
On the offensive side, you're 100% right.
He's an all-NBA player.
But he hasn't grown a lot on the offensive side. But the leaps and bounds that he's made as a defensive player, and what happens, they're not highlighted, right? When you watch ESPN, when you watch SportsCenter, they don't highlight that stuff. That is just as important to the game of basketball. That's what people are missing.
Third team All-NBA, first team All-NBA defense. People just don't get it. People just don't understand the game anymore. And I don't know where that comes from or why. Maybe it's just the old people
I
don't
think it's a highlight thing. I get that completely. Yeah,
like you actually have to watch the game. Oh, nice 3-pointer by Isaiah Joe there.
Yeah.
You have to watch the game to truly understand when Ben Simmons is clicking and aggressive, he impacts the game in a way that only top 10 players can. However, he has that off switch, and I don't get it. I have no answers for it. It's really frustrating to watch. We've been doing this for several years now, saying the same things over and over and over again. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Like, I think part of it is today's NBA defense has been taken out of it a lot when it comes to like it's so hard to play good defense on guys anymore. They kind of let players do what they want, and you just have to cater to the offensive player a lot on the defensive end. So it's hard to be like a really good defender in the league, which in my opinion should make it even more so exceptional to how good Ben is on defense. But also with highlights and how you have House of Highlights now, you have like NBA posting everything on highlights on YouTube or on Instagram, Twitter. It's like you don't see Ben on a highlight reel unless he's shooting a 3-pointer.
Yep.
Like that's just, to me, that's just how that is. So it's, people don't understand the little nuances and even the big things he does on the other end of the court for basketball right now.
Right on, man. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, no, listen, I think there's a lot of similarities from the way Ben Simmons and Carson Wentz are looked at in this city. I think Carson Wentz has, look, this year out of it, I think has been, I don't know if you can even say he's been a better player, but I just sorry to interrupt. Like, I think there's comparisons in this. I don't know if this is good or bad, but there is some kind of sense that you just want to throw, like the Sixers last season was terrible. It was top to bottom terrible. Throw it away. You look at Carson Wentz last year, everything failed, top to bottom. Throw it away. Maybe that's what he's saying. Yeah, I agree.
I think Ben Simmons has a lot more success actually in the league than Carson Wentz.
Oh, I fully agree with that.
Yeah. I just think the questions that people have asked about Ben Simmons have crossed, multiple seasons. And yeah, I know that Carson wasn't excellent last year, but he had really good moments most years that he's played until this year. That's one of the differences between the two. But overall success, yes, I think look, I've always said it. I think that Ben Simmons can be one of those guys that changes aspects of the game because of him being so big and doing the things that he can do on a basketball court.
Something Rasheen just asked. He said, "I get his defense and appreciate what Ben brings." Question though, you guys don't expect more from the number 1 overall pick?
I'm going to take this one. But let's go back. Anthony Edwards, who the hell knows what he is? Zion Williamson hasn't done anything. DeAndre Ayton hasn't done anything. Markelle Fultz, we all know that. Karl Anthony Towns hasn't won anything. Andrew Wiggins is probably the most overrated player. Anthony Bennett, enough said. Anthony Davis, terrific. Kyrie Irving, terrific. John Wall, what has he won? Blake Griffin, what has he won? Derrick Rose, the injury stuck. Greg Oden, Andrea Bargnani. I just went literally 15 years there. Stop. Just stop. Stop with the narrative.
Well, and the other thing is, this is one of those situations where I get frustrated with fans of any nature. Stop worrying about he was the number 1 pick. He makes this much money. What do they do on the court for your team? I don't care if a guy's picked first or if he's an undrafted free agent. Like, that's over now. It happened. And it's now what? What's been in his 6th year, 5th year, whatever it might be? I mean, you can't just harp on that idea of, well, he was the number 1 pick. He should do this. No, he needs to do whatever it is to make his team successful. And yes, there are things he needs to do better, but that doesn't mean you ignore what he does really well.
And I think a good representation of what you're saying is looking at a guy on this team like Shake Milton, who was a 2nd-round pick, who was a guy who was injured, was sent to the G League, was like put through all this stuff, but he's producing for your team at a very high level. Like, and you were even Seth Curry. Seth Curry was an undrafted free agent.
Somebody brought up the word wiggle, and I think it's actually, you guys discussed it while I was gone, but I actually think it's an important piece of the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think someone has to be a threat going left, going right, and the wiggle is what you once you establish that you're a threat to both left and right, the wiggle is what lets you go to your comfort zone, which with Ben is drive left and finish with his right hand. He doesn't have it, so guys can shade him. They can funnel him. They can stop him, create a wall to stop him. Like, I think wiggle is important. I think a go-to move is important. I think whoever made that comment, I think it was a good one. And you know, I think the team's going to look a ton better when Seth Curry comes back, but I think there's got to be some discussion around having Ben play less point guard.
Do you think that comes as, especially because a guy like Maxey is doing so well with not turning the ball over? Do you think that slowly happens?
Well, I just don't think Maxey's playing point guard. I
No?
think he's playing shooting guard. I mean, he's a scoring guard. So you're just going to have to find ways to have the ball in Ben's hands less, because the less you have it, the less predictable it becomes, the less the scheme takes something away, and the more you open other things up for him to be able to get downhill, drive the lane, all of that. But if you just leave the ball in his hands 80% of the time, then the other team is just going to adapt to it. And so I think they just have to reduce the amount of time the ball's in his hands. And then the question is, if the ball's not in his hands, where on the court does he stand?
They've been doing that this year. Ben Simmons, over games, his usage rate is career low.
Yeah.
Tease with a nice block on Tyus Jones. Or is it? Yeah, it's Tyus, right? I know he's got a brother. Is that Tyus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another Dookie. You love Dookies, Rob.
I tell you what, I'm actually a fan of the Jones brothers, of Tyus and then his younger brother.
Okay.
So Tyus won the national championship with Jaleel. And I tell you, it was one of the most least hated Duke teams I've ever watched. Like they were because they didn't have too many like hate the face guys on that team, but I loved the grit that Tyus Jones played with. And in college, I thought I really did enjoy watching Okafor play. And it just so happened that the Tar Heels were brutal that year.
Real quick, guys. MJ, listen. We understand they're not making shots, but they also have 19 turnovers, and there's still 8 minutes left in this game. It's more than them just not making shots. It's more than that.
It's a lot of it is they're not getting the shots that they want. They're not running the offense. Right. So I'm going to go back to an updated shot chart.
Charge!
And they still only have three corner three attempts. That just tells you that they're playing into the hands of the Grizzlies. They're playing the game that the Grizzlies want them to play.
Can you explain real quick what, like, because obviously we know this, and I'm sure most fans on here know, but any fans who are new to this or don't understand basketball as much, explain what exactly the shots are that that the team is looking to get. And Shake just, oh my goodness, right there. You guys are going to see what I'm talking about, but that was ridiculous that they didn't give him that. But yeah, I think you should explain that. Yeah,
so if you look at the that's the second one of those that he's made after a whistle tonight. The Daryl Morey ball, modern Warriors sort of offensive philosophy is that you want to take corner threes, shots at the rim. And you don't want to take anything that is a step or two inside of the arc because it's not much more accurate than a shot behind the arc, and it's worth 2/3 of what a shot behind the arc is. So everyone in the NBA knows that the analytics will tell you that your best shot is at the rim. Your best shot is a free throw. Your most likely chance to get to the free throw line is a shot at the rim. You're more likely to get fouled. Your second best shot on the court from the field is a corner three. That's just where the numbers lie. People shoot higher percentages from the corners. And then above the break threes are next. And then you get into progressively less and less expected value from shots inside of the arc. And so when you look at a shot chart and you see a ton of shots that are outside of the paint but inside of the arc, those are shots that this offense especially is just not built to get. Now you'll take them if the defense is straight up giving them to you, but you shouldn't be turning the ball over 21 times if you're settling for mid-range pull-ups. So this is a bad shot chart. And you add in the amount of turnovers. This is just not the game they wanted to play.
No.
So, and it's not about makes and misses. It's really like, are you getting the shots you want to get? And the answer is no, they're not.
And for the
and you can tell they're not. And you can tell they're not because sorry, Chris, but real quick, you can tell they're not getting the shots they want because of the 21 turnovers. Like because they're trying to force it to get the shots that they want, but they're not. Like Ben is trying to force it, and that's what I see. And then when it's not there, he doesn't know what to do with the ball. Or at least he's trying to do something with the ball that just isn't going to work at the moment.
Great play by Maxey.
Hold on. Okay.
Great. So Maxey initiates contact and uses that contact to then push him into a great finish. But that gave him a chance to get to the free throw line. So he created contact and he created a layup for himself. It was a hell of a play.
Shake as well. You're gonna like this next play that comes up. Anyway, can we? Is this worth discussing? The
defense led to that turnover right there.
Is this worth discussing? Like
because the entire premise of this team really is, we talked about it before, the oppositional gravitational forces that are Seth Curry and Joel Embiid. It is entirely built off of those two, and they aren't here tonight. But you've got your three right there.
That looked
You
like
got your 3 initiators, so you shouldn't be turning the ball over this much. You got all 3 of your primary ball handlers are in the game. You shouldn't be turning it over this much.
I mean, I wasn't on with you guys before the game, but this game was always going to be a tall task with no Joel Embiid and no Seth Curry because of how much they are a part of your offense. But you don't make it any easier when you have 21 turnovers, regardless of missing 2 stars.
Yep.
That's going to play a role, and that's something, regardless if those guys are there or not, you criticize that, and you should criticize that.
Shake Milton, like getting in between that double team, and that was amazing. Like that looked like James Harden. Right?
Just wait.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about actually. Guys. Before when I said that, I'm like, you're gonna like what Shake does. That's exactly what I was talking about.
Good defense in there, but let's go. Let's go down the other end. Okay, here we go.
Also, great defense by Shake there. Forced
fantastic.
the miss there on the free throw line.
Yep. Shake
is dominating right now. Dominating.
And he needs to. What you're seeing now is, they're giving the ball to their 2.
What happened?
Wait,
what?
I want to know
Why are they getting a free throw?
First of all, I want to know.
Dwight got a technical.
Ooh, that was on.
Ooh.
I saw a little wiggle right there. I saw a little wiggle there, Jay.
Let me see some wiggle.
I saw some wiggle.
MJ says Sixers know they are playing Memphis and trying to prove something.
I don't know.
Yeah, did you see some wiggle?
That's 2 of those shots he's made tonight.
No, I know. Was that some wiggle right there? I think that was a little wiggle. There's a little wiggle. There's a little wiggle.
Listen, they're down 4 in this game. I'm a little confused. So the foul was on Valanciunas, but they gave a technical to Dwight Howard.
Yeah, kicking the ball, maybe.
Guys, the Sixers are down for 100-96. 5.5 minutes remaining. Let's go, Sixers. Come on, baby. Let's go.
It's like Jason said. They have, with all the negative plays, with all the turnovers, with the shoddy defense, with not getting the shots they want, they have kept themselves close. And they've given themselves an opportunity to do what they do best, which is, hopefully lock down defensively and find a way to steal this one. Like, at this point, if you were to win this game with all the problems that happened and missing the guys you're missing, you stole a win. And that's a good thing. That's a good, like the first game against Miami. They stole that win. As poorly as they played, they had no business winning that game. And they stole that win.
And I think this is important. This is an important thing to say. What does that tell you? All those turnovers and down by 4. It's like what that tells me is exactly what. Like, see, here's the thing. We're like MJ. We're allowed to nitpick like that. And I don't think this is nitpicking really. Like,
they're more talented than the Grizzlies.
Exactly, and that was the point I was gonna make. Is like this team should be winning this game by 20, and I understand. Or not, not by 20, but you know what I mean. This team should be winning this game handily, and I understand your biggest star in Joel is not there, and Seth Curry, a guy who's really important for the team, isn't there either. But either way, the talent that's on the floor, they should be able to beat this team even without them.
Listen, let's not forget. Yeah, they should be, especially at this point. But let's not forget, like, if they were able to find a way to win this game. You're talking about a team that has been turned upside down for the last couple of weeks because of COVID.
Yeah.
It's a lot of in and out and in and out. And I honestly think part of it's going to benefit them as the season goes on because guys like Isaiah Joe got minutes. Tyrese Maxey got a lot more minutes than he would have got. And you're starting to see, hey, these young kids can play. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden you got these guys coming off the bench. It's a good problem. It was a good problem to have, especially this early, 72-game season. You don't need to win every game in the NBA. You just would like to be one of those top 2 or 3 seeds if you can get there, and then see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. Every win is a good win, especially the tough ones. But when you see a team in the other conference that's a mediocre team struggling to be 500, and they know how to defend you, you should be concerned about that. That tells you the book is out on you. And yeah, when you get Seth and Joel, it's totally a different team. So it's not like super alarm bells, but I don't know, should be disappointing.
FYI, we're getting close to that territory where I regularly mute everyone here and do my thing.
That's what.
See what?
No, there's a different. Oh my God! Oh, good rebound to White.
Memphis is starting to miss shots here.
Yeah, and the Sixers are controlling the glass. So the rebounds are now 54 to 47.
Makes it incredibly easy to bet live during the game. But to make
Not sponsored. Not sponsored.
Yeah.
Foul? Oh, man.
Got it all. Oh, that almost went.
Oh, come on.
You love to see how these young guards are able to finish, get right into the teeth of the defense, draw contact, and finish through contact. Shake didn't get the foul on that, but that was a hell of a finish.
That's what makes you so excited about potentially Seth Curry coming back and Shake and Tyrese on that second unit.
Yeah, because the team can't drop like that and just pack the paint. So it's
Sixers down by 7 with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. Memphis 105, Philly 98.
Memphis has had a pretty comfortable lead here in the fourth.
Jesus.
Sixers really haven't been able to make that run that they need to.
Jay, I got excited and then nothing came.
great pass.
Great. Yeah, it was a very good pass.
Great pass. And he shot it in rhythm.
Yep.
So no hesitation. Definitely not his spot on the floor, but he shot it in rhythm, no hesitation. That's great. Like, you love to see that.
Goodness.
That's fantastic.
See, but this is the problem. You can't laugh and put your hand over when he shoots it. He shot in rhythm. He missed the shot. You can't have it both ways. He's not just going to be a prolific three-point shooter all of a sudden.
He should not walk away from that shot, and the coaches obviously are going to encourage him feeling bad. Like, that was great in rhythm. You got to have the mentality that you're going to make 80% of those if they keep leaving you open. I've told this story before, but I was playing in full court a couple of months ago, and I was like 0 for 4, 0 for 5 from 3. And in my head, I was like, I am so due. You guys don't even know. I am so due. I am going to hit so many shots in a row. That's how these guys have to think. Like, it's not like, oh my God, I'm playing so bad. It's like,
hold on. Hold on. Look at this.
Every shooter says that.
Look at
this. Justin, Stephen Green is the biggest troll that watches all of our stuff. That's what he is. He's been this way for weeks. I mean, I'm going back to the Cleveland Eagles game he started.
We love it. We love the fire.
I love it, yeah.
Keep throwing him up on the screen.
But you have to have that mentality. Like, all the great scorers have it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
You shoot, you miss it, don't worry about it. Next shot.
Michael Jordan missed way more game winners than he made. Like, it's just part of the game.
I like this timeout that Doc called, trying to like regroup his players after like we haven't scored a few times coming down the court. I like this timeout in this situation. What have you guys thought about Doc's coaching so far?
It's good. He keeps the team calm. He is very steady and calm, and I think it gives players confidence. He's really clear on what he asks for people. I think the chaos of the last couple of weeks makes it not look that way, but he's very impressive.
Jason nailed it, that people know their role. To quote my man, The Rock, other than maybe Ben Simmons, like Tobias Harris, Shake Milton, Tyrese Maxey, the list goes on and on, Dwight Howard. Everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing on the court. And when you see this team fully healthy, that's when it's magic. That's when it looks, and it is the best. I've said it, the best basketball I've ever seen on a Sixers court. So I
would agree. I would agree with that.
It's the best basketball I've seen. So I'm 35. So the best basketball I've seen was that like 2001 Sixers. I'll take this basketball. They were nearly top 10 in efficiency on offense and defense.
100%. Last year's team, even for all their problems, would run the 2001 team off the court.
Yeah. I mean, people don't remember, like, outside of Allen Iverson, you were talking about George Lynch and Tyronn Hill, which were all nice role players, but there was nobody else that was like what you would call a super talent. I mean, Dikembe was towards the end, of his career.
It was a great team in its era, which is a very specific hero ball era from the early 90s through the mid 2000s. Hero ball was everything, and it was great. They had the hero of all heroes, but you couldn't run that. You couldn't run that team on the floor today in the modern NBA.
I mean, what's the difference between Iverson and James Harden?
Shot selection. Shot selection.
I mean, as much as I loved Iverson in Philadelphia, like his shtick ran pretty cold over those last couple years. And
but he's the type of player that will fall off a cliff as a player. Because so much of it was built on speed, quickness, and high difficulty shots. So when you're willing to take those super ultra high difficulty shots and you lose even half a step, and you're undersized, it's like it's going to be a problem.
I still remember where exactly I was when the news first broke that Iverson was traded. I remember everything.
I was laying in my bedroom watching TV.
I was too. I was in my bedroom.
Because it was like an off day. I don't know. I don't remember if it was a weekend, but I was off from wherever I was supposed to be. And I was laying in my bedroom as the news broke across ESPN. Yeah. And I remember just feeling like
it happened.
Yeah, like there it is. Like there's that moment. Like you knew it was at that point where you knew it was going to happen. It just been talked about too much. But when you saw it, you were just like oh.
I'll go further. Like, remember, it was like right after him and like Chris Webber or something, like skipped the fan appreciation night.
It's Chris Webber's a dog.
Oh my God, he was the worst.
Good sense.
The worst, and it was just like it just rushed to happen really fast. And I remember Billy King like held a press conference like really soon when the news broke. I remember all of that.
Oh yeah.
So here, I think we're in the middle of this happening right now to Westbrook. I agree. But Westbrook, huge shoulders. He got like Giannis shoulders. He's 6'4". I think he's able to extend it a little bit longer, but I agree. It's the same sort of decline you can expect from a guy like that. Isaiah Thomas, the new Isaiah Thomas, went through exactly this, right? Once he got that injury, there was just no place for him in the league because he played at such a razor's edge of being able to get those shots off that any little thing was going to make him unplayable in the league. And it's unfortunate. It's just the life of these guys are the best of the best They have the killer instinct. They have the competitive drive. They have the intelligence, and they're also physically just completely different than anyone at any other level of sports.
I'll go one deeper when what was that? Roy Halladay had his back injury during the offseason, and it completely threw him off. Like that guy was a robot as a training. And as soon as that happened, his routine and everything changed. He was a completely different pitcher.
Yeah,
he was Doc was one of my favorite guys to watch in Philly.
What a block by Ben Simmons, man!
That's why I worry about
one of my favorite guys to watch. Sorry, go ahead.
I worry about Aaron Nola a little bit because so much of his greatness is with that late action on his live ball, and but his mechanics just lead themselves for me that there's going to be little issues, and if he doesn't have the overpowering speed to overcome, if his pitches start flattening out, he's going to get beat. And I think late in the season with Nola, you see him wear down. Not to do baseball in the last 2 minutes, but you see Nola wear down at the end of seasons. His late action flattens out, and he gets beaten up.
I'm gonna pull my last 2 minute mute.
You're mute. He's muting all our. He's not our audio. Never mind. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Did Dives mute everybody? Oh no, he didn't. I think Dives just can't hear us.
All right, so
yeah, Toby's going off right now.
Yeah, he is, and that's good. I don't like that Shake was caught in the corner with the ball, not open. You don't want to pass the ball to the corner if a guy's not open. Dwight controlling the boards. How many boards does Dwight got right now? I think controlling the glass has been really key to their comeback here.
So right now I got 35 seconds left.
At halftime, just for context, at halftime they were tied at 30 rebounds apiece.
Okay, here's the thing though. This game is not over. Just turnover right here. I don't know who turned it over because I wasn't looking at the time, but not good.
Dwight has 17 rebounds. Ben Simmons has 15 rebounds. They are keeping this team in the game.
See, here's the thing. This is when Dwight Howard's what's it called? The eye thing. Shit. I can't remember what it's called. His contact falling out and him not getting it back in and us losing that timeout because of it really may affect this game because we just had to take our last timeout and there's still 18 seconds left and we're down by 1. So that could eventually be a problem.
Yep. All right, Dives.
Oh, baby.
Dives. Barbecue, Memphis style. I know you haven't been to Memphis, but you've had Memphis style dry rub ribs.
I like a good dry rib. It depends on the seasoning, of course. I like the concept of letting the meat shine. So I'll always prefer like a good dry rub. Like I like all barbecue. I love all barbecue, but it really at the end of the day, the star is the meat, and that is what Memphis barbecue is.
Yep. My ranking is Texas barbecue number 1, Memphis barbecue number 2. Then I would go into like a Georgia. I think Georgia does it a little bit better than Kansas City, the way that they manage pork. Then you get into your the Kansas City cheating barbecue. It's slathered in sauce. And at the bottom, I have North Carolina vinegar barbecue.
Not a vinegar fan. Not a vinegar
Yeah, I
fan.
don't understand.
I gotta go.
Yeah,
here we go.
games time starting back up. Once again, Sixers down 105 to 104 with time running down on the clock. I don't know what we're trying to do here. Are you
Ben Simmons posting up to get in. You got Danny Green right there. I don't know why.
Furky, man. Furky.
All right, here we go.
Furky. Furky.
Tough way to lose.
Yeah. Pulling a Furcon right there.
All right, so you put in Joe, you put in Matthias, if he's available. I'm not sure that he's available. You put in all your 3-point shooters. You're most likely
Tyrese
gonna
coming back in.
He's not out. He's on the ball of his foot.
Well, they already are shooting free throws on the other end, so don't matter.
Good defensive play to wall him off though by Memphis. See how to bring Joe in.
Wow, does that not represent the entire game? These last two offensive possessions. Holy crap!
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself.
You need another 3-point shooter on the floor here. But don't be surprised if Toby takes the final 3. Oh.
Yep.
All right, well, there you go.
Yep.
Close game, good game. Good win for Memphis.
Yep.
It's going to be a tough night.
Yep. See, here's the thing. If the Sixers win this game, all the headlines are Sixers able to stick it out in a tough game with a lot of turnovers. Now the whole narrative after this game is going to be Ben Simmons playing like shit. Or not playing like shit, but like turning the ball over a lot. Something I do want to talk about, though, Shake Milton, 28 points.
All right, here we go. Post game?
Yep.
Good to go?
Hey, Chris, I'm going to put on the Zoom calls and share the screen during the team availability.
Yeah.
You want to do that?
Yeah, just keep it on mute. And then when someone speaks, we'll like go in.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're going to do a post-game show. Here we go. Please stick with us. We'll be back after the intro. Woosa. What is up, everybody? It is Dives, Mr. Crackpot on Twitter. Welcome to TPL Live. This is the Sixers versus Grizzlies post-game show. The Sixers got the L tonight, 106 to 104. The Sixers move on to 9-5 on the season. Today, we're going to talk about our top takeaways. We're going to talk about grades, and we're going to talk about the players of the game. Joining me tonight is my man, Rob. You know him on Twitter at Philly_Madness, the host of the Madness podcast, the voice of the people. How you doing, Rob?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Tough one tonight. Was always going to be a tough game without Joe and without Seth, but Sixers shot themselves in the foot. Turned the ball over 23 times. You're not going to win too many basketball games when you do that.
Period. Also joining us tonight is my man Justin. Follow him on Twitter at J_Persichetti. Justin, what's good, man?
I mean, listen, a tough loss for the Sixers. I mean, they kind of kicked themselves while they were down a little bit a lot of times in this game, though. So it's a tough loss, but hopefully we can come back when we get Joel and Seth back on the floor.
Lastly, joining us is my man Jason. JB is actually bringing something new here to our post-game shows. We're locked in here to the media availability post-game. Sure, Doc, everyone will be speaking. Follow my man Jason on Twitter at JBlevins NBA. Jason, how you doing?
I'm good. I think, we were critical during the game of a lot of details, but this was kind of a predictable loss. You could almost schedule this loss without Joel Embiid. So we talked about it before the game. This to me felt like a loss. The fact that they had a chance to win it in the final seconds, wouldn't get too worked up over it.
Again, we will be showing you media availability of the Sixers players and coaches talking to the media right when it happens. Please stick with us. Main takeaways tonight has to be the turnovers. Really just representative of the last few possessions by the Sixers. You saw a Ben Simmons bad pass stolen by Jay Morant. And then you saw my man Tobias Harris step out of bounds. Rob, you touched on it. How many turnovers? 23 turnovers led into 17 points off turnovers for the Memphis Grizzlies. And then Ben Simmons. He had a block there leading at the end of the fourth quarter there. Ben Simmons had 7 turnovers on this game. The starters in this game had 16 total turnovers. You're not going to win many basketball games doing that. Rob, what was your takeaway of this game?
Yeah, I think my takeaway is, this offense does not get what they're looking for. And because of that, it leads to these really bad turnovers. I thought Ben made many of them on his own tonight. I saw a lot of that patented dribble into the lane, jump in the air, turn around and try and pass the ball back out, which led to some of the turnovers. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm highly concerned. Their offense runs through 2 guys that were not in the lineup. Yep. And really give Memphis some credit. As Jason pointed out during the game, they took away the shots the Sixers wanted to have. And, the Sixers were not able to adjust. They kept it close because they're just more talented than Memphis, but they weren't able to pull it out in the end. And, short memories because they got to get back at it with pretty much the same lineup tomorrow night. So they can't sit here and dwell on it too much.
I've been saying that Seth Curry is the engine of this team. You look at the Sixers starting lineup, 1 of 13 from 3. Just the amount of impact Seth Curry has on this team in terms of spacing. And you touched on it. Like, the Sixers didn't get the shots they have seen in the previous 14 games this season. Justin, what was your takeaway of this game?
I think more than obviously Ben Simmons struggling on the turnover side of the ball was a big part of it. I mean, overall, the Sixers had 22 turnovers, which I'm not sure what that led to in points for them off turnovers, but obviously I'm sure it was pretty high. The other thing that was the issue and something that we've been better at this year and past years is 3-point shooting and percentages, and that has something to do with the shot placements shots that we've been able to get today. But we shot 28% from 3 today, which is just not going to win you a ball game, especially with how this team usually plays with the 3 ball and the ball going to the interior. So yeah, you're just not going to win that kind of a game. And like Jason said, it was kind of predictable, being that how this team is being built right now, and just the momentum wasn't really there throughout the game. So what are you going to do?
Right on. What about you, Jason?
As I sit here after this loss, Ben took 3 really good shots. As hard as we were on him, I think back, he took 2 turnaround jumpers. They were about 10-foot jumpers, 1 on the left side, 1 on the right. And he took a above the break 3 in rhythm, no hesitation. Missed it badly, doesn't matter. That gives me a little bit of hope that all of the stuff we were, complaining about early in the game, which were leading the turnovers, he actually did. He did attempt to fix those. So The turnaround jumper is not going to be a strength in his game. He did make 2 of them. But I think there's good in this loss. A lot of stuff to work on though, because I think they're going to have more games where they don't have Joel Embiid, and I don't think adding just Seth Curry into this would have solved some of the problems tonight.
Defensively, the Sixers really struggled today. The Sixers really gave up 60 points in the first half and really never looked back defensively. The Joel Embiid absence was truly felt. 56 points by the Memphis Grizzlies in the paint. That is a major, major thing. Let's go to the
Rosen first.
Media availability post-game show.
Hey, Doc, late in the game like that, how much do you think about the lack of practice time that you guys get to have this season when it comes to adjusting things that maybe you could improve on in the future?
I did today, Lauren, honestly. We were just very undisciplined, sloppy with the basketball game. Turned the ball over down the stretch the last 2 times down the floor. 22 turnovers as a team, and still had a final shot to win the game. So disappointing loss to me because very winnable game tonight, and we just didn't get it done.
Thank you, Doc.
Mark Narducci next.
Doc, on a night like this with Joel out, how disappointing is it that Ben and Tobias just didn't seem to get it together until Tobias did late in the game?
Listen, Mark, they're human, so I don't worry about it. Play well, like as far as shooting or something like that. That's human. Like you can't just pick tonight. I'm going to be great. I didn't like how we played. It's not who played tonight for me. It's how we played. I thought we were a sloppy basketball team. And when you play that way, you deserve to lose. On the road, 22 turnovers in this other team. I would say up to 22, 15 were unforced. Just sloppy, driving into traffic, cross-court passes, interior passes where they should have gone out. And then I also thought we had a stretch where there was no ball tonight as well. So I just didn't like how we played.
Thank you.
We'll go to Paul Hudrick.
Hey, Doc. It really seemed like Shake kind of really willed you guys there, during that stretch when the offense was struggling, you guys were turning the ball over. Just kind of what have you seen out of him the last couple of games, and especially his ability, it seems, to get to the free throw line recently?
Yeah, it's funny for Shake. I thought it was a great example early on because he had a great game. It almost like he tried to come into the game to get everybody else going. And I told him, Shake, keep it on. Keep the foot on the gas. I mean, don't hold yourself back. Like, I thought he held himself back in the first half. I thought in the second half he went for it again. And I want Shake to be that way every night, no matter who's on the floor, at all situations, because that's his ability. And I'm trying to get him to see that every night. That can be Shake go. Tonight, late he was.
Thanks, Doc.
Kai Carlin.
Hey, Coach. So just to kind of piggyback off that Shake question, when you do get your full complement of players back and Seth and everybody, how excited does that make you to kind of be able to turn to Shake and Tyrese as a backcourt off the bench and just let those guys just kind of go?
Yeah, it's nice. You got a lot of offensive firepower, and what I like about both is off the dribble. They can get into the paint and create action. So, it's going to be nice to have once everybody gets back. Ferg, he's been out as well. So we need him as well.
Thank you.
Next up is Keith Pompey. Go ahead, Keith.
Sorry about that. Doc, I know you talked about you don't care about who plays, but it just seems like when your starting lineup is intact, you guys are 7-0. You guys are 2-5 when at least one starter is out, and those 2 wins came against Miami. Is it just a little hard just as far as getting the rhythm down without these guys, out there?
Yeah, but keep I'm not letting our guys use excuses. We got to get away from that. Listen, this is going to be an extraordinary year. Get over it and win the game. Find a way to win the game. This was a winnable game tonight, and I'm not going to let the fact that Furkan, Seth, and Joel, that if just think if they weren't on our team tonight, this game should have been won by us. And that's the mentality we have to have. We can't accept, we'll be good with everybody. That's unacceptable.
All right, thanks, Doc.
One more with Jason Blevins.
Hey, Doc, just looking at the shot chart, it just doesn't look like the kind of chart you'd want to see. It doesn't look like you got the shots that you wanted to take. Is that true? Is that fair?
I don't know if I can look at the shot chart and see that. I can watch the game. We didn't play like we played. The ball wasn't moving tonight. We didn't get into second actions tonight. Everything was a first action shot, no pass shot. I don't think good teams play that way. And we didn't play like a good team.
Thank you.
All set. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
So for those, I think someone asked how you get access. For those that don't know, I'm a credentialed reporter for TPL and 97.3 ESPN. That is so I'm credentialed to cover the games, home games. I'm going to be at a lot of those home games, covering from the arena. So we're going to try to figure out how to do this while I'm there. If you guys like it, but I have I actually obviously access to the Zoom availabilities after practice, after shoot-arounds, before games, after games. So normally in previous ones of these, I would jump off after the game to go be on these. We're just trying something different. I'm just sharing my screen so you guys can sort of see the process as we go through it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, people keep saying they want charts, aka Chris Coyle.
Yeah, I had to ask it because it was it's becoming a theme, right? And hey, look, you guys know I'm not going to, if I say it to you, I'm going to say it to him, right? I want to be consistent.
Yeah, what you should do is bring up during the Zoom call. Share your screen on the Zoom call.
No, I don't have access to that. So. Yeah, I actually forgot to turn my camera on, which is one of our rules. We have to turn our cameras on. I forgot to do that for Doc. So
imagine imagine you're allowed to share your screen. You bring up the shot card. Hey, Doc. So from this shot chart,
are these the shots you wanted?
Oh my God, that would be so funny.
All right, let's move forward into our players of the game. Not to toot my own horn, I went with Shake. He had 28 points in 33 minutes, 4 assists, 5 turnovers, which is not great. 2 for 5 from 3-point range. Rob, who was your player of the game tonight?
Yeah, I think it was Shake. I thought, as Doc alluded to in his press conference, he was kind of holding him there, and what I like is he told Shake, "Yo, keep the foot down. This is your game. Go after it." And look, I said in the beginning of the year, I think, Dives, we were asked a question a lot before the year started, would you insert Shake into a starting lineup? And I said, I kind of like Shake in that 6-man role in Doc's offense. I'm not saying he is Lou Williams, but that type of player coming off the bench. And you've seen it the last couple games from him. So good pick by you, Dives. I'll go with Shake Milton.
Justin.
I'm gonna say Dwight Howard. I feel like Dwight Howard's gotten a lot of love the past few games, just for playing pretty well. But he really stepped up with Joel not being on the floor. I mean, he got 18 boards, he had 3 blocks, he had 8 points respectively. So like realistically, that's what you need from Dwight. You need him to be able to stay on the court all game and get that production from a rebound perspective. So I think all around they didn't win the game, and I mean the Grizzlies had a good amount of points in the paint today, but overall, for what he needed to do, he played well.
And just to like piggyback off of what Jason said and why we are so lucky to have Jason, I'm watching the NBC Sports Philadelphia broadcast right now, and Doc Rivers is still talking during his post-game media availability. He's been off this camera here, so make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on notifications. Like, we're ahead of the game here. Jason, who is your player of the game?
I agree with Justin. I think Dwight controlling the boards enabled that comeback. It was a grinding, slow comeback in the second half, but again, they were tied in rebounds at halftime, and I believe they out-rebounded Memphis by like a dozen. So out-rebounding a team by 12 boards in a half is huge, and Dwight and Ben get credit for that.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
we had 53 rebounds. They had 42.
Yep. Let's go on to team grades. How would you grade tonight's performance? And Jason, if something comes up, just feel free to like completely cut me off.
No, you'll hear it. You'll hear it when it comes up.
All right, sweet. So let's go on to team grades. How would you grade tonight's performance? The turnovers, the lack of good shots, Ben Simmons, failure to really kind of control the offense tonight. Really tough to watch. God, I thought this would be a close game. I'm going to give them a C-. What about you, Rob?
I'm going to give him a D because, listen, and what I really like about Doc is he calls it like he sees it. He came on, he said, we were bad. We were sloppy. We were not doing the things we're supposed to do. He specifically mentioned one passing shot, no passing shot, and things of that nature on the offensive end of the floor. I don't think you could give them higher than that because they did. Look, I know they were shorthanded, but they shot themselves in the foot tonight. This game was extremely winnable the way it played out. They should have won the game. And because they didn't, you got to really go after them for that. So I'll give them a D.
We're getting a lot of D's in the comments. Only Big Shane Gillis agreeing with me with the C. Justin, what's your grade?
Well, I'm going to go with Dunder Dude and say D for don't talk about it. This game, I agree with a lot of what Rob said and a lot of what Doc said. It was a very winnable game, and we just didn't play our game. We played into the Grizzlies' defensive scheme against Ben Simmons and against our offense, and that's just how it went. We weren't able to rise above it at the end either. I will say I think we should give them a little bit of credit where they were able to stay in this game for a while. I thought they were going to lose their grip on the game, but ultimately they just didn't play their game tonight, and that's why we lost.
I understand people are upset that we didn't beat the Memphis Grizzlies. You're not going to win every single game. This is the nature of the NBA season, so that's why I kind of gave them some slack. Jason, what's your grade tonight?
I think a D plus. I think they gave themselves a chance to win a game that looked a lot heading into it like a loss. I predicted a loss. I predicted like a 6-point loss. They gave themselves a chance. So a D plus. There's a lot I didn't like about it, but then I think their talent shows, even when they're missing two of their biggest pieces offensively, that they're able to keep themselves in striking distance. So,
all right. Let's go before we go into our next interview. Let's talk about Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey had 12 points. He was a +2, 5 of 13 from three. No 3-pointers tonight. Again, Tyrese Maxey played 25 minutes. He has a 6% turnover percentage. He played 25 minutes tonight. Goose egg turnovers tonight by Tyrese Maxey. Not his best performance. But Rob, what was your take on Tyrese Maxey tonight? He's been the darling of Sixers Twitter. And how would you grade his performance?
I mean, Tyrese didn't do anything that jumped off the pages, but when you talk about the fact that here's a rookie in the league, a guy that just kept falling for whatever reason in the draft, have 0 turnovers in that amount of time played, that's a positive. And I think everything you see out of Tyrese Maxey is a positive right now, especially all the experience he's been getting during this COVID crisis that the Sixers have gone through. So I'll give him a B because he didn't do anything to hurt you. So I think I'll give him a B for that. But listen. I'm excited to watch. Even tonight, they didn't play well, and the team is excited. Like I get excited to watch this team, and that's all you can ask for from a fan standpoint.
Real quick, while we're waiting to watch this game, watch this interview, can I pull something up from Twitter real fast that I want to talk about? Is that possible?
What's up, Jason?
Jason, is it possible to remove this from the screen for a second while we're waiting?
I might just have to throw it right back up, but go ahead.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. I want to share.
We'll still hear it either way.
Okay. So this is something that drives me nuts about like overall like media about Ben Simmons.
There it is.
So and this is exactly why
it was great. Let's see 100 more of those.
Exactly, but this is exactly why there's such divisive about Ben, because you'll have some people who will say, okay, we need Ben to start shooting. We need Ben to start getting more, like, to put up some more shots. We need him to do this. We need him to do that. But then at the same time, you have to take the negative effects of that with the positive effects. You have to take the fact that he is going to be, like, he's going to make mistakes. He's not going to make all his shots. He's going to have growing pains if you want him to grow as a player. And that's what it comes down to. And that's what kind of like gets frustrating with the media, or national media, I should say, with this, because that's the kind of stuff that creates divide about Ben Simmons, in my opinion.
Jason, does Ben Simmons see that tweet?
It's Bleacher Report, yes.
Yeah.
Is that a problem? Is that 50% of Ben Simmons' problem?
Well, it can't be. If it is, if you know that's true, you have a big problem. I don't think you can have that mentality. So he should be celebrated for taking that shot in. Rhythm.
I agree. I fully agree. What was your take on Tyrese Maxey's performance?
I think he came down to earth a little bit, but I think it's a function of how the defense was playing, and I liked a lot of it. So I even on a 5 for 13 night, I liked a lot of what he did.
Love it. So let's go to some comments here while we wait. Again, thank you everyone here for waiting and commenting. The comments are flowing to me. A lot of positive comments about Jason. This right here, what we're watching. People are saying if this is what it is, like TPL just went up a notch. Marquis.
Well, it's not our job to be worse than other places. Trying to be better than other places.
Can we talk? Oh, never mind.
Oh, here we go. We're going to go to the interview
Tobias
here.
Harris coming here to this primary Zoom. Tobias Harris up next.
Everyone mute.
I don't have a question for Tobias. If anyone has a question, put it in the comments, and if it's a good one, I'll ask it.
When this gets done, whether or not we want to talk about what Tobias says or whatever, I do want to talk about Shake Milton a little bit, because I just found a graphic on Twitter talking about his last 3 games, and his last 3 games are pretty impressive to me. So can I bring that up? Do you want me to bring that up while we're waiting? Oh, never mind. Here he comes.
He's coming up right now.
Here he comes. The man, the myth, the legend, Tobias Harris.
All right, we'll get started with Lauren and Mark. Lauren, you can go first.
Hey, Tobias. After a tough loss like this, how do you make sure that you and your teammates can have sort of a short-term memory and get things turned around for tomorrow night without losing too much time over this?
Yeah, I mean, we still both learn in different areas where we could be better after ourselves, that type of position. So at the same time, we have to take what we can from it. And obviously, like a game like tonight, and to back-to-back, so we have to kind of have short-term memory, let go of some things, and be ready for tomorrow's game to get back. So it's a little bit a combo of both. Keep our head high, keep our spirits up, or just keep on trucking on.
Thank you, Tobias.
Mark Narducci.
Tobias, how frustrated were you by the turnovers? And could you tell us what happened on that last play with 5.9 seconds left?
Yeah, turnovers, I think, plus including myself, maybe myself. Too many turnovers, late turnover late in the game. I take ownership, but you got to be able to get our team a basket in crunch time, in closing moments. I saw the replay. Look at it was real close. Put on the line or what, but yeah, it was just probably should have went to a counter move, got a shot up. But at the end of the day, got to grow from it, got to progress, got to be ready for tomorrow. But on top of that, too many turnovers on my part on our team. That led to too many easy baskets for them, and that was really where they got their momentum. Their spark.
Keith is next.
What's up, Tobias? Tobias, this is a crazy stat. Like when you have all 5 starters, you guys are 7-0. When at least one of you guys are out, you're 2-5, and those 2 wins came against Miami. Is it just as simple as all 5 of you guys need to play, or what's the reasoning in your opinion on why you guys can't win when you guys don't have the starting lineup?
Well, it's a 14-game season. Been a weird year, so to call it, as you may say. But at the end of the day, we do need each other. We need each other's games. When we are together, 5 starters, we do complement each other out in the way that we do play. So it's easier said than done. Why can't you guys play? One guy isn't playing. I was out 2 to 3 games, whatever they need to love, and out. So it's easier said than done, but it's also it's not as easy as a process. Mm-hmm. You're trying to figure out it on the fly of different guys coming and playing. Needless to say, we still had a chance to be in that game. So collectively as a group, we do have to figure it out there. And this is going to be a season that presents different obstacles. So it's only going to either make us great or disallow us to make excuses. At the end of the day, we have to still do ourselves.
I got you. And in regards, I remember there was a point last season when you guys had to figure things out. You know what I mean? Does this seem a little bit, last year it was doom and gloom on the road. But this one seemed a little bit more easier, a little bit more simpler, like you guys are closer to it?
Yeah, I think for the most part we have we pretty much know when we're on, when we're out there playing and moving the basketball, sharing the basketball, allowing our defense to fuel our offense. We're a really good team. I think we allow too many turnovers to affect our offense, which then led to them getting the basketball, which allows us to not get stopped. So we just got to be really solid. We got to have great energy to start games. And we got to pull with one another. Obviously, different guys in and out. And that's kind of the key points to it for us to be successful. Stick with it. So we'll be fine, and I know we will be.
All right. Thanks, man.
Last question, Paul Hudrick.
Hey, Tobias. Shake really carried the offense really for a long stretch there in the second half. What have you just seen from him from the time you've been here and gotten to know Shake? What have you seen from that time to up until now?
Shake's been great. He's just a guy that has a lot of confidence, and he doesn't shy away from the moment. at the same time, he's really skilled with the basketball and finishing. He's got the mid-range game, so he can pretty much score on both 3 levels, 3-pointer, mid-range, and get into the rim. And, he's good with the basketball, pick the ball too. So tonight, he carried us all the way to the end of moments, and we were finding him. We were just trying to rely on him to make some big plays that he did in the fourth quarter. So he just got to continue to keep on going and continue to keep playing and best. So, but he's been great for us coming off the bench as a 6 man thus far. A huge spark right off the bench.
Thanks, Tobias.
Yeah.
All right, good to go. Thanks, Tobias.
All right. So as Tobias was talking about Shake a little bit, I kind of want to talk about him as well. I think it's important to point out that Shake Milton. Oh my goodness, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Sorry, 1 second. Shake Milton in the past 3 games has scored 28 points, 31 points, and 24 points on a pretty efficient scoring.
Super efficient.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
insane efficiency.
I think that's important to talk about, considering like Doc is giving him that freedom and he's not taking it lightly and he's doing well with it.
But listen, there's something to be said about when Doc took the job, right? In his first introductory press conference, one of the names he brought up multiple times, he kept bringing up Shake. And a lot of people looked at it like, what the heck? Like, my God, Doc. It just shows you the basketball mind of Doc Rivers.
Well, I would also say that in Dwight Howard's intro, he did the same thing, and he didn't even know Shake's name.
Right.
So it's not just Doc having like an insane eye. Shake took a leap.
Shake took a leap, and I love how Doc really let us know from the beginning, though, from the onset, he was going to trust the kid. And it is really panning out in so many different levels, like we said, look, I stand corrected. I wasn't sure how good Shake could be. I thought he was nice, but you said it, Jason. In the last year, the leaps he's taken have been, pretty big.
And they don't seem big because he's not an explosive player, but he plays with pace. He changes speeds. I hate to use the comparison to Andre Miller.
And Simmons is coming up here.
Oh,
and Simmons will be next.
Let's cut it off. Everyone mute. We're going to go into the...
We'll start with Mark Narducci for Ben. Go ahead, Mark.
Ben, I wanted to ask you just how frustrated were you by the turnovers tonight? That was obviously the difference of this game.
Yeah, too many. We don't have those turnovers for us. We got to come prepared and ready no matter who we face. I think in this situation like this, hold ourselves accountable early on in the game.
Jason Blevins.
Hey, Ben. I know Doc wanted you to get downhill at the beginning of the year. You're getting downhill. It seems like you're getting caught in no man's land. You're leaving your feet and looking for an outlet. How are teams playing you differently, and what kind of adjustments do you plan on making?
Yeah, every night's different. The game prior, I had triple double guys with loads of pain. Out there on my team. So tonight, they were very handsy. A lot of hands at deflections. Which caused turnovers. That's on me just to slow down. Not leave.
Thank you.
Lauren.
Hey, Ben. How heartening has it been to see Shake perform the way that he has in the last few games? Like, as you look ahead into the rest of the season, how crucial can he be if he's as productive as he's been?
Yeah, he's been great offensively. He's been staying aggressive into the line, making shots, and he continues working the game. So he's been great.
Noah Levick.
Hey, Ben. You started with Tyrese these past few games. What's it been like playing with him, and what are some of the main differences there as opposed to starting next to Seth?
It's been good. Stay aggressive. We can score the ball at a high level already. He's still learning, so I'm still trying to help him out a little bit with certain things. His stuff is growing.
Derek.
Hey, Ben, I guess just real quick, like, how is your knee, and is that impacting you on the court at all right now?
No, I feel good. At times, it's trying to get my legs under me. It's tough. We got a back-to-back tomorrow, so we'll see how I feel. But, overall, I'm feeling solid.
All right, looks like that's it. Any more questions? All right, that's good. Thanks, Ben.
Okay. Just
wow, great job, Jason. That was
excellent.
Jason, your camera's still on for the thing. Just to let you know.
Just in case any of our viewers thought I wouldn't ask that question. If you hung out with us for the last 3 hours, it would have been criminal for me not to ask that question.
Yeah.
So it had to be asked. I think he acknowledged the problem as much as he will. Yeah. So I appreciate. I see in the comments you guys thought it was a good question. So just know that if I'm on here and I'm giving constructive feedback, I'm giving it to him as well. It's not something I wouldn't say to his face.
Awesome. So should we continue or should we close it out? What should we do?
Yeah, I think we're going to get one more player. Not sure who it'll be. Maybe Shake.
All right.
I'm now seeing Ben Simmons on my screen, by the way. So we beat that.
I know. We're well ahead of NBC Sports Philadelphia. You cannot find this anywhere else. Please be sure to subscribe. Please be sure to turn on notifications and smash that subscribe button. Thank you, everybody here for watching. We are the TPL YouTube channel. You guys are awesome.
Please like the video, by the way, as well. Right now we got 48 people watching and 29 likes. So
awesome.
Please go watch that. Go
really
like
appreciate
the video
it.
if you can.
What you're seeing from us for those 48 people, you're seeing us level up because we're not satisfied. We're not perfect. Our games aren't ideal. We have holes in our game. We're going to keep working on it. We're going to keep getting better. So we expect the players to do the same, and we're going to hold them accountable if they don't. So this is a level up for us.
Period.
Period. What's a good question for Shake Milton? Everybody, let us know in the comments.
Does anyone else get when you look at Mark Noguchi? Does anyone else get Everybody Loves Raymond vibes?
I never watched that show. Yeah, love Mark.
Mark's a great dude.
Mark is awesome.
Mark got a 35-year signed Sixers jersey framed at the beginning of last year at the media luncheon presented by Brett Brown. So Mark's been in this game a long time.
Mark, I've met Mark on multiple occasions when I was writing for a local website covering high school sports. Mark is the kind of guy that will go out, he'll cover a Sixers game, he'll cover an Eagle, but if you talk to him, he'll tell you he'll love to go cover the South Jersey high school girls soccer playoffs. And like he loves just like that stuff as well. I mean, you want to talk about a hardworking guy, and one of the most down to earth guys you can meet. It's Mark Narduzzi.
100%, and he's in Delaware quite a bit with the Blue Coats.
Yep.
He's working on a story, you know, you can count the number of Philly beat reporters who have been to a Delaware Blue Coats game on one hand.
First time I met Mark was in Delaware at the 76ers field house, and he was just super nice. He was just like, "Hi, I'm Mark." Like that was it.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Dwight Howard will be up next. Again, Dwight Howard next.
Not sure I have a question for Dwight.
You could talk about his like how well he's been rebounding and what he's changed to keep his fouls down a little bit more.
Yeah.
What's it like playing in the pick and roll with Tyrese versus Jake Milton?
He's I don't want to ask that because so many of their turnovers were forcing it into Dwight tonight.
Can you add? I think the foul one's a good point.
Yeah, I think it is.
Thanks, Jason.
By the way,
I've just raised my hand for you, Justin. I'm gonna
yes.
In case anybody's watching that has not subscribed, you're still watching Tobias Harris on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Keep talking. He'll be a couple minutes.
Boys, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna sign off. I'm on kid duty in the morning. So at Philly_Madness. Jason, this has been awesome, man. I love this.
Here, Teach.
All right, so I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys.
Rob.
See you, Coach.
Thanks for hopping on with us, man. Guys, go follow Rob at Philly_Madness on Twitter, and make sure you go watch all his videos when we post them up on the Painted Lines YouTube channel. So
appreciate
peace out, Rob. Have a good one.
See ya.
That is the voice of the people, Rob Lange. He is the host of the Madness podcast every Thursday night with Jessica Town, 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. East Coast time. Just please give him a follow on Twitter at Philly_Madness. Thank you, everyone. This definitely increases the length of our post-game shows.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Sorry. You know our philosophy, try everything, stick with what works, right?
I think this is a unique path that no other Sixers fan has seen. So I think this is really cool.
Yeah.
Big Shane Gillis says, "You're an absolute beast." Rob is the best. Dude is so talented.
Yeah, let's while we're waiting for Tobias, let's talk about Dwight Howard a little bit. Or sorry, while we're waiting for Dwight Howard, let's talk about Dwight Howard a little bit. Oh my goodness. Something that is interesting and obviously that you've seen in the past few games is that he's been doing a little better on his fouls. So you look in the Denver game and Brooklyn game, both at least the Denver game without Joel. He had 5 fouls. You've seen slowly they've been going down. Atlanta, he had 2 fouls. Miami, 2. The second game against Miami, he had 4. But I think ultimately you could see there he's doing better about not staying out of foul trouble. And also look at the rebounds tonight in comparison to what he has been getting.
Yeah, I think part of that is the Grizzlies just went small tonight, which was a surprise. I didn't expect it. So some of this is to be expected, dominating the glass, and not fouling as much because quite frankly they weren't really forcing it low. I'm looking at the shot chart from Memphis right now, and it looks very similar to what the Sixers had. They were settling for a lot of mid-range stuff.
As much as I love Ben Simmons, as much as I love Dwight Howard, like 2 games this year, he's had 0. 3 games this year, he's had 0 turnovers. Outside of that, 29.9%, almost 30% turnover percentage.
Yeah,
like that is everything for Dwight Howard. If he can stay out of foul trouble and limit turnovers, he is a massive impact player for the Sixers.
Yeah, but he doesn't have good hands, so part of that you got to accept. Just so everyone's aware, this is what we go through every night. Wait until Embiid's going to talk. I mean, Joel makes us wait a half an hour sometimes after the game. I think there's it's part of the job that we have to just wait until they're all done.
Yeah, real quick, Chris Dunn, by the way, we are reading your comments. Don't worry. Just not all of them are going to be asked. Trust me, we see you. You're asking some real good questions. We just cannot get to all of them at all times. So don't worry, we are reading them.
Coming shortly.
Chris Dunn is salty.
Jason Blevins will start us off. Go ahead, Jason.
Hey, Dwight. Totally different story on the boards in the second half. I think you guys out-rebounded them by like 10 or 11 in the second half. Tell me how you stayed out of foul trouble tonight. That was really important. And then dominating the glass in that second half. You might be muted.
Hey, Dwight, is the microphone there in front of you?
Oh, this is better?
Yes.
That's perfect.
Oh, my bad. First couple of games of the season, not as aware of how I was using my body. Tonight, last game, I just tried to do a better job. Just getting to my spot early and making the ref see my hands. So, it seemed like a wrestling match, and I was just trying to play people out there. So I did a better job of that tonight. But now you got to work on those free throws. I think we hitting a couple of those free throws that gave us a better chance of winning the game. It's kind of just my focus at the free throw lines.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Lauren Rosen.
Hey, Dwight. I know you probably were hoping for a different outcome tonight, but can you just tell us a little bit about how big Shake has been in the last few nights and how big he can continue to be if he keeps playing this way?
Shake is great. The way he plays, the way he attacks the defense. He's doing an amazing job this season. He's getting to his spots. He's shooting great shots. I haven't seen him really take any bad shots, poor shots. He's done a good job. He can come up and pick the ball, just being disciplined. So I'm happy to see all of this success. He got us back in the game with his offense, skills that he had late in the game. So I thought he did an amazing job. We got to keep feeding him late in the game. Seems like he's finishing. He gets buckets down the stretch. And he did a good job. A real shape. Up. We keep giving these good spots.
Thank you, Dwight.
Any more questions for Dwight? Going once? Going twice? There you go. I think that's it. Thank you, Dwight.
Y'all have a beautiful night.
All right, everyone, just a reminder, pregame availability tomorrow at 5:30. Tomorrow night, 5:30. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, there you have it. So thanks for everyone who stayed on. That's it for tonight as far as post game. So
That's the first time I've seen Matt in a long time. It's good to see him.
wearing a hat tonight.
I know, right?
Yeah, he's doing a great job. I mean, Matt Murphy, totally underrated. Is the play-by-play announcer. He's the Mark Zumoff for the Delaware Bluecoats. Plus, he works in the PR department. Makes our lives much easier. He does double duty in Delaware, where he does what we just saw him do, manage the press conferences. He does that before and after games, and also does the Mark Zumoff role, doing play-by-play for TV and for radio. So Matt Murphy's the best.
Ludwig says TPL best Sixers outlet. Dude, that means the world to us. I don't even know where to begin to say thank you. Justin, plugs. Let's wrap it up.
Plugs. I mean, go follow me on Twitter if you'd like, at J_Persichetti. I mean, listen, like you see the content we're putting out. You see it. You see the consistency we're here. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Like the videos. Please like all of them. It'll really help us grow this channel. Like Dives was saying during the middle of the live stream, if you start liking videos, we start getting recommended to other people. So please keep liking every video you can. Keep watching us. We appreciate you coming out. We appreciate how active you are in our comment section. We love talking to you guys. We're all fans too, just like you are, and it's fun. It's fun to us.
Yep. Jason.
Justin stole my thunder. I only ever plug the viewers and the comments. I love tonight. Had a great time with this. It's a out of conference game. Wouldn't normally be a very exciting thing, but this was a great experience. We're glad you stuck with us.
And lastly, thank you, everyone here commenting relentlessly tonight. The comments were crazy. And this is the TPL YouTube channel. Please check us out on Twitter at The Painted Lines, at thepaintedlines.com. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We're there for you every single day, literally live streaming every, 2-3 pods every single day. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.